Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Today is Endangered Species Day. So let's try to have a little thought to all of the animals that we are, as a species, currently wiping out. The most common cause for endangered species is destruction of habitat. Basically, people just keep expanding and taking over every place that's useful for anything to grow, so the animals are running out of territory and food.
We are quite literally doing that here in Southern California with anything that inhabits the desert, because we are encroaching on their land more and more as the years go on.
Well, it's also, things of people put up fences and even just, building highways. Cut what were large territories into smaller and smaller sections, and large animals have trouble dealing with that, with their habitats being cut up like that.
Especially when all they know is a particular trail or something that will ruin an animal, that will ruin animals' life, because they will be closed in.
Mm-hmm. We are the worst animals on the planet.
We are, and do you know where I live? We have buffalo in one of the saddest pens you've ever seen in your life, because it gets so hot here, and there's like 4 or 5 at a time. But I gotta look that up. I want to say they're like the only buffalo on the West Coast. How's it going, dog?
Hello, mate.
Long time no see.
Didn't skip a beat, did we? Yeah, we didn't skip a beat, did we? Straight in with the nonsense, mate. Carry on.
But there was a famous silent movie star that put a mansion in my town and kept buffalo, and they've kept the buffalo here. But how many are left in America? Let's look that up. Probably some really sad amount.
Well, yeah, especially when you think that just 200 years ago they were in the hundreds of thousands.
Mm.
Well, one that I've heard about that we're not directly responsible for is you've heard about facial tumors in the Tasmanian devil population, right?
Yes.
It's transmittable from one to the other, and it's decimating the Tasmanian devil population.
So in 2017, there was less than 500,000. And in the 1500s, just for a rough estimate, there was 60 million bison that roamed America.
I mean, don't forget the Tasmanian tiger, too. Like, that was, they're extinct now, but they were stunning. There's video footage of them, and yet they're gone now.
Yeah, the last one actually went extinct. Last one actually has died within my lifetime.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That's sad.
I don't know. I was going to say, I think I've heard someone say that I was just pulled up a list and they came up as threatened, and I was like, or endangered. And I'm like, I thought they were extinct. But there have been all these random people saying, oh, I saw one or something.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Bigfoot in Australia, that there are random reported sightings of them, but nobody has found any physical evidence of them for over 50 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the last one was sometime in the early 1970s. I'd have to look it up again.
Well, most extinctions like that is due to human population of the areas, isn't it? And drives them into environments that they're not good with, and obviously they.
Well, that's what we started out with, was that most of the extinctions have to do with loss of habitat, of just humans encroaching on their territory to the point that they just don't have any place left to go.
That's it.
Especially in a place like in here in Southern California, we've had wildfires. On the trail cam, you can literally see the animals running in the opposite direction in the middle of the night. And then you can see the smoke on the hills They have nowhere to go between us and things that are naturally happening right now. We're, I always say this. What do we produce as a species? Trash. And I say this not as a nice, not to be nice, but I call our species trash monkeys. And yes, I know we're great apes, blah, 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 details, atheist community, whatever. We're trash monkeys. We produce trash and kill everything. It's sad. Hey, Doc.
Hello.
Oh, Doc.
And apes are monkeys, so you're cool, Will.
But I have to admit, we're going green, but not quick enough.
Yeah.
Certainly not quick enough. And there is people, even in the UK, even in our area, they've introduced beavers again to Great Britain. So we've got beavers, and apparently they're starting to thrive now.
On my property, there's some like horny toad lizard endangered species. We are no longer allowed to have any mechanical equipment in the creek or chop down any tree that grows in the creek.
Well,
Because of a toad.
Again, it's human beings that are stopping this again. We're trying to introduce certain eagles into Scotland, but farmers are stopping them. They don't want them because of, livestock and things like that, carrying lambs away and whatnot. So, we need to get this planet green again, need to get it. And lockdown healed the planet a lot, according to scientists.
I love those pictures of watching sheep take towns over in the UK.
Oh, yeah, they do.
It was absolutely amazing how fast some areas came back during the lockdown.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
No, because we overstate our importance as humans. Like whether you want to hear it or not, the Earth will keep going without us. If we disappeared tomorrow, the animals would clap and move on with their lives.
Oh yeah, humans will have a mass extinction one day the way we're going.
Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about that all the time. Chuck Nice will ask him something, and he always says, "If we make it," and he always emphasizes the fact that we're probably going to destroy ourselves before we live in the Star Trek era. But Star Trek was based on what was left of the human race, so it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't there like a massive catastrophe?
Yeah, it was World War III, and basically everybody destroyed each other, and people were living with what we considered technology, but they were basically camping. So it would be like what a rich person goes camping nowadays.
Well, the rich people, they've all got their bunkers, haven't they? They'll all be all right. They're lead-line bunkers. If anything happens, if someone presses a button and we have nuclear fallout all over the world, the Trumps will be all right. 2 miles underground with eating their quails and whatnot. Their servants.
The one thing about the loss of massive life is that these people would lose their servants. They would have to tend for themselves. So a lot of the people who came out of the bunkers, I don't think, unless they had the mental wherewithal to know, Purple and I talk about this all the time. They'd know how to drink clean water, make clean water. You have to have certain know-how because money, you can't eat money.
Well, I think Donald Trump's applying his own spray paint. He'd probably look like the Joker, wouldn't he, if he had to do it himself? He'd be a total mess.
Reminds me of an image I once saw. I think it's by the artist who's done the Karmic Scandinavia versus the World, but it shows this man and he's approaching this green woman and he says, "Mother Gaia, I came on behalf of all humans to apologize for destroying nature and beg your forgiveness."
I've got that one. If you give me a minute, I can find it.
Oh yeah, rather than me stumble over the words and read it.
Hi, Kitty, by the way.
Hello.
And the other Kitty.
Wait, huh?
There's 2 kitties.
Yeah.
Do you know, for a while, because, I smoke a lot of weed, it took me a while and everyone was like, "Hi, Kitty, hi, Kitty." I would always look for Kitty, the Empress of Hell over there. And I'm like, "Oh, Kitty's in the chat?" It took me a while to get used to that one.
Yeah. That still happen. I mean, that'll happen with me though. They'll be saying, "Kitty said this," and I'm like, "Wait, I didn't say that." And then I'm like, "Oh, they probably mean the other kitty."
Ah, crap.
It's okay. There's a godless everything.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that one.
So it's all right.
Well, yeah, Nervardia changed her name because there were too many godless when she started. She actually started as Godless Australian.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, godless stray, and for a long time I didn't remember that was the thing. So I had once said I was once thinking, what happened to godless strayin?
I decided on my name when the Godless Iowan switched their name. I was like, oh, I could be Godless Sewing. Now that I had no idea there was a million other Godless. And when I got on Instagram, they wouldn't let me put Godless Sewing, so I had to spell it wrong. If you go look at my Instagram, it is spelled wrong. It is spelled completely wrong. It's like Goddless or something. But they wouldn't.
You should have gone with GAWD for God.
Ooh,
God.
G0D, like Rachel Oates had to do with the O in her name.
Yeah,
but if you misspell it, then people don't find your channel either.
Exactly.
I think this is the one Kitty Kitty was referring to.
Yep, that's it.
Aww.
I'd like to say,
I came on behalf of all humans to apologize for destroying nature and beg your forgiveness. Oh, my beloved self-centered humans. We're sorry for being so selfish. We never meant to kill nature. That wasn't what I mean by self-centered. Nature is adaptable. No matter what you can do, it will simply change and take on new forms. It has survived worse things than you. You are, however, in the process of changing it so much you can't live in it. You're not killing nature, you're killing yourself. That's what I mean by self-centered. You think that just because you can't live here, nothing can. What? You're fucking yourself over big time and you won't be missed.
True.
It's true, but that page looks very indoctrinating. It looks like something you put a religious guy and show a child.
But I saw a dark mirror.
Very much a pagan thing, yes.
I saw a dark mirror that was about I won't give it away, but it made me cry. It was about what we'll probably do to Earth.
So, recently, Megyn Kelly actually had this one fuckwit on, and they were talking on, a podcast or something, basically about how, climate activism, Greta, how dare you, Thunberg, and that it's a religion. People who think they're not religious, they tout their greenness as, moral superiority. And it's you dumb bitch. What do you think's gonna happen? Sure, maybe you can sell your homes and get by just fine. But, I mean, most of the rest of the people are gonna be absolutely fucking fucked,
That sell your home comment from Ben Shapiro.
Oh, it's so dumb. Who's gonna buy it if it's underwater, dumbass?
So that means everyone in South, if the water breached the hills in Southern California, that means quite literally half of Los Angeles would wash away because it's on the ocean. I mean, from inland, all the way inland, Compton, Carson, Watts, all these places lead towards the ocean, and they just get lower and lower as you get towards the ocean. They would be underwater within a year.
Isn't it also on a massive fault line as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but I always say I'm on the hard side of the plate, beachfront property. Yep. Peace out, suckers.
Well, you may have beachfront property soon if that went up.
One of the things people don't get is that they talk about coastal flooding and that, but it's not strictly coastal areas. It's low areas that would have any kind of an inlet.
Exactly.
So, if we get something 3 feet of ocean rising, half of Texas goes underwater.
And if you it's so funny you would say that. If you look at the map, somewhere here, it would literally drown everything up until the foothills. That's the entire southern half of Southern California and San Diego, because San Diego is on the ocean. So it's.
But if the Earth was flat, though, it wouldn't happen, would it? It'd be different. Only the bottom half would flood. We'd all live in the north.
Yeah. Hey, Doctor Who said there's a north everywhere. Everywhere's got a north.
Yeah. Can I just say hi to Ox in the chat? He said hello. And Amanda's in the chat. Hi, Amanda. She's probably a great authority on this. And I see you as well. Oh, yeah. You got crowded today, mate, Purple.
No, Doug, you may not say hi.
Okay.
That's funny because you already said hi.
Cheers, Doc.
You have the greatest. You have the greatest picture, dog. You have I love your picture.
I saw a doctor in now.
A doctor where?
I changed it to my own, to myself, and people got upset. I thought, all right, well, I'll leave it as the dog pope.
Ox is right. In 1994, there was the Northridge Earthquake, and it reminded me how human I was because we were subject to the ground. And every time after the main earthquake, after every earthquake after that, it reminded me that the earth basically does whatever it wants, and we just adapt to it.
Okay, new conspiracy theory.
All right.
The Pope is a Time Lord. He doesn't die and they elect a new one. He just keeps regenerating. It's been the same guy for the last 500 years.
I would get bored. See, if that was me, I would be like the corrupt Pope because there would be a casino underneath the.
Are you implying there has been a Pope who wasn't corrupt?
Yeah, as I say, are they not all corrupt?
True, I think, of course.
I would have to look it up. One of the popes, was it Pius the 12th? He used to do a thing called whore jousting.
Yes, I've heard. Oh, we are such a horrible
whore jousting.
We do not be here.
Was this like you having the girls ride on your shoulders type thing?
Here we go. Look at my avatar.
Oh,
Kitty Pope.
Kitty Pope.
I love
it. What it basically was, it was they get like the lower levels of women because women have never been treated well in the Bible, as we know in any religion. They would strip them naked in these halls while the Pope and his entourage had these banquets, and then the men would get up and have their wicked way with them, basically, called whore jousting.
Yeah, the Catholic Church.
They did it with children as well.
Yeah, King James was notorious for liking kids.
Well, we know the bestiality and that went on there, and it's all written in their book. But they all go by it. Well, that's up to them. They're idiots if they believe any of that rubbish.
Yeah, that's another thing about this whole argument that all morality comes from the Bible. It's that every monarch in all of Europe, even the ones who were fighting against each other, had both been put in position because they were blessed by the church.
Well, in the Bible, when Cain murdered his brother Abel, he tried to hide the body because he knew he'd done wrong, and this is long before the moral commandments came in. So morality is inherent. It always is in human beings. It is in every animal. It's inherent. Swans will always mate for life, and things like these things are instilled in the very DNA that dwells within us.
I don't know. I don't
animals,
think.
Not all.
Yeah, I was going to say monogamy is not a moral. I don't believe monogamy or the lack of monogamy is a moral issue, but
Dragonflies are cross-dressing prostitutes.
What?
Dragonflies are cross-dressing prostitutes.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one.
The smaller male dragonflies will actually tuck their genitalia away and take a pose on a branch like a female and wait for one of the larger males to bring them an insect it has captured, and then they will allow the larger male to mount them while they eat it.
Well, that's a good topic for Brain Bug, I think. Transsexual insects.
No, that would quite literally be a trap. I mean, by the definition of what everyone uses for that one, that is definitely.
And I have so many questions.
This type of behavior is part of the natural world.
Oh,
it's not unique to humans.
Hey, I'm not judging. I get it.
Homosexuality happens in every species from insects to humans.
Oh, watch bonobos. They love humping each other.
Yeah, but I seriously wonder about that, if it's really the same thing.
I don't think
as human
it is.
homosexuality, because I don't even think the act of having sex with the same sex is homosexuality. I think a straight person can physically have sex with the same sex person. It doesn't make you homosexual.
Well, that's it. That's the stigma we put on it, though, isn't it? That's what we call it.
Because I think it's the feeling, it's the tendency, it's the
lesbian seagulls will mate for life.
Yeah.
Well, so that's something I grasped at a young age, because I was watching. It was one of those early daytime talk shows like Donahue or Geraldo when they had their own show, and they had this couple on, and it was a transgender woman and a guy, and they kept saying something like, "You're gay, man, you're gay." And I'm like, but he's attracted to her. She looks like a woman, therefore he's not attracted to men, therefore he's not gay. Even if they have sex, it might be gay sex, but he's not gay because he's not attracted to a man. He's attracted to what he perceives as a woman.
People outwardly, we live our insecurities. So if somebody is insecure about their own sexuality, they're gonna absolutely trash somebody who's open about their sexuality. And pick a side, quite literally any side. You will see someone and be like, "Oh, I don't like what they do," or human beings are funny that way. At least that's what I think, because I think most people are bisexual, but that's my my conspiracy theory bias. I don't believe in ancient aliens. I think most people are bi.
You're probably right.
I think some are more so than others.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the concepts we have today were given to us by the church, and it's only our version of human in the past, 2,000 years that have been living how we live now, and these morals and all these things that we have now. Because we always talk about two-spirit, and we talk about all these other things, but that was the way of life before, Jesus came around and everybody had to wear pants all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jesus wore a dress.
No, I know. Well, I'm saying, the people that went out in Jesus' name to put pants on everybody and destroy the world.
Well, dresses used to be male fashion.
And high heels.
Yeah, and probably still are in different parts of the world. So,
so did high heels.
High heels, makeup, wigs, those were all male things for the longest time.
Okay, but like in Ethiopia, they don't call it a dress, they call it something. Because I actually know quite a few African people. And that's the one clothes item that they don't wear in America is the full long thing. Because it's open at the bottom.
But for all these people who are on the Make America Great Again train, go look at some historical pictures. Most of the founding fathers wore wigs and high heels.
Heck yeah.
Well, yeah, like I have a large African community at my work, and they'll come in, the men, when they're dressed Traditionally, there we go. I couldn't think of the right word.
Mhm.
It's a shoulder to ankles one-piece item.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a dress. I mean, it's not form-fitting in anything, but it is not pants and a shirt.
Nope. And it's open under there. But I've worn a kilt before. I don't judge.
I mean, and there's nothing feminine about that item of clothing. There's also not much feminine with kilts, though. I mean, at least in my perception.
No, not at all. But
we
it's
do
also-
go. We go with the diversity of.
You're looking for. Yeah, the dashiki is the long robe Middle Eastern men who won't call it a dress.
I had a couple of shirts that were dashikis when I was going through a phase in high school.
I only called it just dress what Jesus wore, just for the comedic value. But yeah, no, we're very acceptable of other cultures.
Yeah.
Dress
None of the
centers and
Republicans
what they
would
get
ever
up to.
let Jesus in because he was a brown-haired socialist hippie.
Yeah, exactly.
Socialist hippie.
Well, according to John Smith, the Mormon founder, Jesus was the greatest American that ever lived.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. I saw a PragerU video, and this was like a year. Wow, this was probably 2 or 3 years ago, about how Jesus wasn't a commie or a socialist. And I know they're two separate things. Let me tell you, it made me laugh. The gymnastics that they were doing to try to fit their right-wing narrative.
Well, they have some weird narratives, but you have to accept them. Either that or become a bigot or a racist or whatever. That's what the label. That's the label nowadays, isn't it? But I enjoy the world becoming more diverse. Sorry. I was just saying I enjoy the world becoming more diverse. It brings out the best and the worst in people.
Absolutely. I think I don't know. I grew up in an extremely diverse, semi-diverse.
Sorry, I've been
diversity, but
I'm being corrected. You're right. Everybody is Joseph Smith, not John Smith.
I didn't grow up in a diverse area. I grew up where I was the minority.
And Ox is correcting that the Arabic, it's a kaftan. Dashiki is African.
Oh, okay. When I was a kid, it was mainly all Caucasian people here, and then it became like, of course, black and white in the 80s, and then now it's mainly Hispanic here.
Yeah, that's when I grew up. The area that I live in was called Little Mexico.
Yeah.
And I was the only white girl for 5 blocks that I knew of in there.
You say you grew up in California?
Mm-hmm.
North or south?
Central.
Oh, awesome! You don't have to dox yourself, but I worked at a factory, a bread factory in Modesto, in Modesto, and I lived in Stockton when my son was born.
Yeah, I was the San Francisco, San Jose area.
Oh, okay, awesome. Are you a hockey fan?
Not too much.
Okay, good. We can still be friends. I'm a rabid Los Angeles Kings fan, but this is not a sports stream. Back onto endangered species. I'm the king of derailing. Oh, Doc, I missed you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
What's going on tonight in Iowa?
Well, it was raining at least all last night, and probably during the previous day. It's been raining all day, and it's currently raining, and it just opened up into a downpour.
Yikes!
So
I will not
complain.
I will not complain about the weather.
Oh, I will. Iowa weather sucks.
No,
I will
we're
bitch
having.
about it all day.
It was raining here before, not that much, but it's not that hot now. It's finally dropped below 80, but it's just because it's evaporating that the humidity's still like around 50%, so it feels muggy.
Oh, this whole last week has been muggy. I have been swimming at work in my own fucking sweat. It's been awful. And it's not even especially hot. It's just muggy. Just highly humid over here. But it's always humid.
Yeah, the heat doesn't bother me. It's just when the air feels this heavy.
Yeah. It's always very humid where I'm at. It's always, even in the winter, it's like 74, 80% humidity.
Oh, wow.
I'm in Florida. I feel you. This is the swamp that is Satan's tank. Like, it's awful.
That's the thing I can't get used to about being in the South. You know, I'm used to being in California. When it starts raining, it gets cold. You know, it's hot. Yep. And then it starts raining and you go play in the rain to cool down. Here, it's like if you get wet while it's summer or raining, it just gets hotter because it becomes more humid and you're just more, ugh.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yep, that's Iowa. I mean, do you
I want to know how it stays humid by you when it's that cold, Doc, because...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, here in the winter, we got the opposite problem, that I'll be petting the cat and there'll be blue sparks flying off my fingers.
Oh, it gets dry and staticky like a fucker, because I'll have the same nosebleed all winter long pretty much, and it just breaks open from time to time.
You need to buy some nose spray.
Yeah, something, I don't know. But I get nosebleeds, but
I get the skin on my fingers cracking open in the winter till they bleed.
Oh, wow.
That happens to me sometimes.
All of y'all that have winter, do y'all get, when it like gets really cold, do y'all get like little crystals in the air, and if the light hits it just right, especially at night when you've got
very pretty.
Yeah, and it's just like all through the air. You can, if there's like a street light going through it, you can see these tiny, tiny little shiny crystals just blowing through the air.
Yeah, we get that in the UK. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of neat sometimes.
So cold.
Especially at night when the coyotes are howling in the distance.
We get coyotes here.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I've never seen a coyote in my life, probably. I was only vaguely aware that there was some of them in Iowa, and then ever since I started working this job, I would go out for a smoke sometimes, and I can hear a pack of them howling in the distance.
That means they got something. When you hear them,
there's plenty of deer around here.
Oh, that's what I meant, Untitled. Just a saline spray, not necessarily a drug.
Yeah, that's my area. Is mainly deer, and the noises we get at night are either owls or foxes mating, and that's not a pretty sound. I don't know if you've ever heard the mating call of a fox.
No,
but I've heard owls before.
It basically sounds like a woman being brutally gang raped. It is a screeching.
Oof.
It's a terrible sound. But
we have a large population of owls out towards the hills on the outskirts of town. And they're actually, to speak of endangered species, property owners were shooting them. And we worked really hard to pass a law to where you can't shoot owls because people obviously need a law for that. But sorry, Doc. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally interjecting on you, but Dog's story there about foxes made me think of the dialogue from Foxborn, how that must be.
Animals are crazy. There's a gibbon farm by my job, and you can hear the gibbons. It's the strangest thing. I'm used to it, but people, they're like, are there really monkeys out here? You can drive up to the cage and everything. I'll take a picture of it. And it's actually weird.
That sounds awesome.
It is awesome. It's a rescue place for gibbons, just out like way on the outskirts of town.
I don't know if I've ever seen a gibbon even in a zoo.
They're you know what's so funny? We always think that we're so big and top tier. Go look at those things. They're big and they work out all day long because they're swinging.
Oh,
They're not something to be messed with.
Have you ever seen a hairless gorilla?
I've seen
Like
pictures only.
Picture. I've seen pictures. Well, like a video of it too, I think. They just have like a rare genetic thing where they're hairless and God, they're buff. They just look like little just like comic book characters or something. They're just wow. They're little hulks.
All shoulders and arms. Like imagine working out all day.
Dude.
hairless bears are terrifying looking.
Oh, I have to Google that now.
I've never seen that.
Hey, School.
I see the hairless Californian.
That's not rare. We're all kind of bald here.
There you go. Change your name from godless to hairless. There's probably not. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but like dozens, but probably not a hell of a lot of YouTubers calling themselves hairless.
Oh, hairless bears look awful.
Yeah, and in fact, if you Google hairless bear, there's actually a picture of a hairless monkey in there too.
Oh, that's not a. Oh, that is a monkey. Oh, that's gonna live in my mind rent free. Oh, that's gonna be. That thing's gonna be chasing me in my dreams for a couple of days.
Okay, guys, I gotta get going. I gotta go catch my bus.
See you later.
Have
good to see you again.
Have fun.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Pope Cat. Oh, that was traumatizing.
You should put the bear picture up. I want to see that shit.
I'm a boomer. But that's why I couldn't like rescue animals, because I would be crying as I'm like handcuffing the person to the car. You stay here. I'll deal with you in a minute.
Yeah, it's quite sad what people do to animals.
Because there were quite a few shows here in America about it. I couldn't watch one of them.
I saw a terrible show on HBO once a long time ago. It was all about animal cruelty, and it actually showed some really awful things. Like in I forget where it was exactly, Korea, Taiwan, somewhere like that, where they have restaurants where they serve cat.
Yeah.
And what they do to cats, oh my God, it was horrible.
Oh.
Like they have this device that like a collar or whatever that goes around their neck, and it's on the end of a stick, and they carry them around that way and dip them in boiling oil, and that separates their skin, so they just, and this is when they're alive. They just take it and dip it right into oil, peel its skin off, and then go and drown it in water. It's like, oh God.
Well,
it's fucking terrible.
That doesn't even make sense.
It was only recently that
we are awful.
Cosmetic companies stopped testing on animals, and there was a great shot, I think it was Scary Movie 2, where that girl had a leaflet for the testing on animals. Testing cosmetics, and there was pictures like monkeys with all these lipsticks on them and eyeliner and that, and all done up to go out of a night.
I'm in a Facebook group where they literally show they show cartel,
nice, to be honest.
They show cartel killings. They show like murders from all around the world. I can watch that, and I cannot even stand looking at a shaved bear. That's how much we don't value each other as humans, but we like animals more than people.
Well, science still use animals, don't they? They call them I think they're called comparative biology units.
Technically, and what was the first animal in space? Was it a monkey or a dog?
Oh, it's a dog, wasn't it?
It was Lenka. Was it? No, Lenka was not the first, though.
I think the dog was the first in space. I don't think it's there now. It's probably fell to Earth now.
No, the Russians admitted in 2000 something that Lenka passed in the Lenka lived basically till re-entry.
Yeah.
I've heard conflicting stories about whether Lanka just ran out of oxygen first or could have been boiled alive in re-entry because they didn't have enough heat shielding.
Exactly.
Well, I think we should start testing on flat earthers instead.
There's a really famous one that lives by my house somewhere because every time they post a video, those hills look mighty familiar.
Well, Elon Musk should send them first to Mars. A, they'll know the Earth is round, and B, we've got rid of them. So,
and another thing Neil deGrasse Tyson always says is that he'll volunteer to go to a different planet when he's like number 7,000. He doesn't want to be the first, or even like the first like 5,000. He wants to make sure it's completely perfected.
I agree with sending flat earthers into space because you will not believe how much you will save on launch cost if you don't include food or oxygen.
Purple, you could take them up in a glass spaceship and they still won't believe you.
How's it going, Carry On Camping 2?
Hey, Will, can you actually hear me?
Yes, we're there, you still, mate.
We can now.
I'm having real dick problems with my computer today.
Yeah, when you came in the first time, I couldn't hear anything.
Earlier
I
today.
I hate the pewter. So I'm just going to put this out here before it all goes really wrong. And hey, Kitty, I see you jiggly boobs. Nice to see. Hey, Dog.
Yeah, mate.
Your accent is really shit, mate. You sound like a bit of a northern fucker, so be careful.
I am a northern fucker. Well, originally. But Scouser originally, but I got out of that shithole and went to another shithole in Britain where my accent changed slightly. I still don't sound as northern as you, though.
Hey,
Okay,
I'm
so
French.
you're not part of the Northumbrian Liberation
I'm
now?
fucking French.
That's lay stool.
So, the Sussex area, like, which area of Britain is that? Is that
South.
it's south?
Gives you
Okay,
a
well, that's
clue.
where my family's from, way, way back.
It gives you a clue in the name. The S is south, kind of
Fair,
down there.
but I mean, there are other places with S names that aren't in the south. So.
Well, we have Essex. Essex is east. Wessex is
East.
west. Sussex is south. We don't have a no-sex, though.
Do you have a Northix?
No.
What is
I've
it
got one
from
of those.
Elks Grove to Land's End? Is that from one end to the other?
John O'Groats.
There you go. I watch this person on YouTube that goes to Hyde Park and rants, and they always say that. From John L. Gropes to Land's End.
I think it's about 825 miles in it still.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing because Will can do that in a day.
Americans love to drive. I drove. Well, let's
Don't
see.
do the story, Will. Please don't.
From
do the
here,
story.
from my house to Portland,
Please
Oregon,
don't
like
do the story.
934 miles. I've done that in a day.
I hate the dog. I hate these people. I hate Will dog because he just shows off.
He's a big old slaphead, isn't he? You don't know with his American flag.
He's a proper slaphead.
I'm a real life flag shacker.
He's a
Liz Truss called me.
He's a real life guru. Despicable Will. That's all we'll call him.
I did see something that traumatized me this morning, though, and I'm going to keep talking about it. Priti Patel was literally posing with a man that was getting deported and chose that moment for a photo op. That is so disgusting. It's not even funny.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Nazi England.
Oh my F. That's literally like I can't even think right now because that picture, I still have that picture in my head. I'll learn one day to wake up and not look at Twitter because I always see some horrible thing that I'm like, why did I look at Twitter right now? Why?
I agree with you, Will. Never look at the Twitters ever. But do you get now what I've been telling you for the past year?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
England is now fucking 1933 Germany.
It's real. That picture made it even more real for me.
It ain't good. I feel really. I haven't got. I haven't got the ADD, but I'm kind of. I'm feeling uncomfortable because I can't hear Kitty's sewing machine. I feel kind of. Oh, where's the noise?
She's allowed. Hey, are you? This isn't a sweatshop. She's allowed. Kitty is the Empress of Hell. She's allowed to take the day off.
I'm just relaxing. I had a long day. Like, I'm chiming in, listening in, just chilling, playing Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2, that's a game.
That's like the best one.
But my friend got me the Legendary Edition because they just released the remaster recently, and my friend got it for me as a gift the other day. So I played through 1, and now I'm doing 2.
I'm quite fond of people. No, that's a lie. I'm lying. I'm not fond of people. I hate people.
I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally.
That's a line from Slayer. You can't tear that out of me. I hate everyone equally. Great song. It's called God Hates Us All. Great song.
Kitty, who got you the game? Is it a Steam game?
It is.
So somebody bought you on Steam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. That's good. By the way, I'll show later. Because I need some games on the Steams.
What's the Steams?
Oh, don't, no.
I'm not even being facetious.
Dude, you can't use a keyboard, so fuck off.
You win.
Well, Minecraft's been done to death, hasn't it? So, that's out.
I hooked a Nintendo 64 to an Apple desktop computer. I bet you couldn't do that. It took me like 5 tutorials.
What, for a Nintendo 64?
That was more of me barking at stool. I just went and bought the component.
I have never played Minecraft yet.
No, do not do it.
I don't know if I will.
No,
I have
do
it.
not
I just
do
don't play it, really.
Doc, please do not do it.
I do like building stuff. That was probably one of my favorite features of Fallout 4 was how you could build settlements and stuff.
Well, the game I played a lot of when it first came out was the Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. Soft Girl has tried to get me into Minecraft a couple of times, but just I just generally don't play computer games because I know what tremendous time sinks they can become, and I don't need another excuse for procrastinating on other things.
I think I think my problem is I'm spoiled on awesome graphics, and Minecraft is just the graphics are just too
Oh man,
Shit.
the
30 years ago for me.
The remaster of Mass Effect is fucking stunning.
I briefly thought about getting it, but I was like, I don't know if it might look better, but
I think what you need to do, if you have a Steam account, then cheekily look at my wish list, not begging.
And if you're bought a game, are you going to stream yourself playing this still?
Oh yeah, I'll stream anything. Will knows this. We'll see my dick, so I'll stream anything.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd love to show your dick.
I've sat in on a number of your
ass all the time too.
Yours and Pete's late night streams. They've always been amusing. Well,
yeah, Stool loves showing his. That's cool.
No,
Stool,
awesome
let's not
is,
go down there. We're just gonna go down the rabbit hole. We're gonna start one-upping each other. Back to endangered species. So the horny toad frog, that's in the creek by my job. We literally cannot touch anything now. We used to be able to go in the creek. We can't drive a tractor. It's illegal because there's some weird frog that lives there that I've never heard of or seen.
Yeah, okay, that was a really way.
We have
a really good way to draw the conversation away. Will, nobody's got to fuck what you're talking about. So whatever.
I was gonna say they're probably essential somehow to the ecosystem, and it would really screw things up if they died off.
Yeah, they give us a whole chart and everything. I'm just the bitchy guy who's like, oh, we have to build one more bridge. It's not a big deal. We already have two. We can't go in the creek anymore.
Are people still getting abducted by aliens and anally probed in America?
Well, I think with the pandemic, that's all slowing down because all the crazy people are in their house on their computers.
Oh, I thought it had stopped because the aliens found out too many people enjoyed it.
Some guy laying in a field
Nice
ass
call
up.
back to everyone being slightly bisexual.
Damn right. Oh, that's funny.
See, that proves I'm listening.
And what the hell? Like, honestly, again, rubbish aliens. Every time they're like, oh, anal probing, oh, they crashed at Roswell. I don't want to meet you. If you're crashing and you're probing butts, I don't want to meet you. Because you're not on the caliber of alien that I want.
I just noticed what Sloth Girl's comment was about camping.
Yes, that was great.
I'm not going to mention it on live, but maybe later, Will, I'll tell you a few secrets about camping.
You sound like a Catholic priest.
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to not make it that kind of stream. I am so sorry, Purple. I did not get much sleep last night.
That's okay. I was just getting quiet because I did some camping, bring back lots of childhood trauma for me.
Okay, so let's go.
All I've got up here,
horny tree frog that I can't go in the canyon anymore. The creek.
Top left, I see Endangered Species Day. And I know damn well this is not going to be about that subject. Because I'm not that silly.
Actually, we were on endangered species for most of the time before you came in. So we may have actually broken a new record of staying on it for nearly an hour.
Exactly. We really were.
Our previous record was 43 minutes from National Potato Day when we spent 43 minutes talking about how to cook potatoes.
Oh, my son randomly, I don't know where he came up with this, but he will run around the house shouting, "I'm a potato and I'm proud," and just start giggling. And it's the most adorable thing. I have no idea where he came up with that, but
I'm a
it's
potato.
the damnedest thing.
Purple,
maybe this is the launching point for an atheist response to VeggieTales.
So, Purple, I just sent you 2 pictures in the Mid-America chats. I don't know if this thing is in danger, but I found this in my closet today. And it was pretty gnarly.
What is it?
I don't want to give it away. But where I live, it's not rare at all. Like, people talk about Australia, but we have those things here too in mass.
Hey, Jenny.
Oh
Hey,
no!
Hello,
no,
Jenny.
No, no, no.
No,
Yay.
not, you're not as bad as
No.
Australia, mate. Everything in Australia is designed there to kill you, even the humans there.
I agree. But we have like red bottom spiders. We have brown recluse. We have mini versions of what they have.
Yeah, but I'm talking about everything: telegraph poles, knives and forks.
I found that.
Here's what Will was talking about.
I pulled a jacket out. I zoomed in. That's a pair of pants that it jumped on, and I walked it straight outside.
Wow, he's teeny tiny. He's a cutie.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to identify the species to know whether
They
this one's dangerous or not.
They live in my house, and so I take them outside.
What is it?
It's a spider.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
Yes,
I have no idea. Besides that,
Will, it is an endangered species. Its range has been limited to your closet, so that's now a protected habitat. And you must file an environmental impact statement anytime you remove a piece of fabric from that closet.
I'll tell you what, it's dressed like. Why is it dressed like Iron Man?
Well, a lot of house spiders will die when you take them outside because it's not their place to live. They live in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not an environmentalist. That thing had to get the F off of my clothes. I was nice and put it outside.
Well, although Jenny is correct that a lot of house spiders, have lived inside for so many generations that they've become separate subspecies.
I agree. I never said I was here for peace. I believe in humans over everything.
Yeah, but spiders can be good for your household. They get rid of all the other bugs.
Oh, the ones that live in the places I can't reach. My son and I've trained my son to kill a fly and throw it on their web. So we have spider pets, and I have.
Will they eat a dead fly?
Okay, so here's the thing: if it's because you hit a fly with a fly swatter, you don't always kill it. It's still kind of alive. So spiders are weird. Sometimes they will. If it's struggling for life, the spider gets right on it.
Yeah.
But if it's dead, I've seen spiders reject flies before.
Well, I think it has to be moving to trigger their hunting instinct. Otherwise, they may not even recognize it as food.
You can tap the web.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You would have to somehow, make it bounce a bit.
I always get one above my stink.
Pet spiders like that too. It's a hit and miss. Sometimes they eat the fly, sometimes they don't. But
exactly.
Enough times that it's fun to watch.
I'm slightly worried about this because
it is, Jenny. It so is.
Purple's title is Endangered Species Day, and I always get a little bit worried when Jenny joins, because I know she's going to talk about cars and oil pans and all that crap.
Don't be mad because Jenny knows more about cars than you do.
I don't know fuck all about cars, and I get bored.
Don't make me go get my Holly engine again.
I won't talk about cars, I promise.
Surely us humans are on the endangered species list, right?
I was actually writing
it
a
goes back to what Neil
little...
deGrasse Tyson was saying, that we eventually are going to kill ourselves out. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
We are.
I agree with that.
I was actually writing a little not an essay, but a little prose, if you like, to Jenny, because Jenny is so fucking clued up about cars and all that kind of shit that I don't understand. And I was going to say, look, fuck off and shut the fuck up. Nothing
Well, as
personal,
far as
Jen.
cars go, the Citron du Chevaux Sahara is a severely endangered species. In 1966, there were only 50 known in existence. At last count, there are only 16 that they're aware of.
Oh, can I do one, please? Purple, can I do one?
Go ahead.
I've seen the Australian reef thing in jiggies. I've actually swam with those Australian reef things. That's
Great
a
Barrier
really That's. I know the terms.
There's a lot of things in the Australian reef. You need to be more specific.
Oh, fuck you all.
You mean the jellyfish or the octopus?
I hate you, perps. Fuck off.
It's a legitimate question.
It really is. What did I do?
The Great Barrier Reef. I've actually been there and seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a glorious... Well, you know this. It's a glorious thing.
Yeah.
But that thing is wasting away.
It's turning white, isn't it? It's getting bleached by the sun, the coral on it. The animals, the coral animals are getting bleached.
The coral is very sensitive to changes in ocean temperature. So even there's been a very slight rise of like 1.5 degrees Celsius in the ocean temperature around the Great Barrier Reef. And that's the main reason that the coral are not reproducing at the rates they used to. And then in addition to that, the what are they called again? The spiny sea urchins are eating the coral. And those have been, their population has been just exploding over the last 20 years.
Do you know what the rate is every year for that?
Not offhand, I'd have to look it up.
That's awful. Because when I was a kid, I was trying to like be noble, and I worked for the Surf Riders Foundation, and it was bad back then. And that was, gosh, that was 22 years ago.
What is the rate then? Take it you're looking it up.
I'm on a different device. I gotta.
In the meanwhile, Sloth Girl's asking, what's the only letter that doesn't appear in a U.S. state? And I'm pretty sure that the Federal Post Office services all of them, so I don't think that's a valid question.
X. Oh no, Texas.
It's Q.
Probably Q. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I can't think of an exception to Q.
Oh, but you have a state with a Q in it. Could it not be Y? You think?
Wyoming.
No, New York and Wyoming have.
Yeah, in Maryland.
Oh, I fucked that. I fucked that up.
Do we have a Z?
Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona.
Yep.
Damn, quick on the draw with that one, dog.
And the answer is yep. No, Q. Yep.
Hey, I was right.
Yep, Kitty got it.
Yay, my team. See, I'm totes paying attention while playing.
Well,
Mass
then
Effect
we should make Washington D.C. a state and rename it Washington DQ. And when we can go get ice cream there too.
Have Dairy Queen on every corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but they'd object to that because then they'd have blizzards all the time.
I wouldn't mind those kind of blizzards all the time.
Right?
Jenny, if you put that up on the ballot, I'll sign your petition. Let's go. Let's get that ball rolling.
Okay.
That was actually the best idea I've heard all day.
Or alternately, we could petition to make Ecuador a state.
Yeah.
Another country, though.
Well,
I wouldn't like the
think
idea of the imperialism that would require.
I think that the U.S. should consider that. That if
Islands.
that if there's some of the northern states of Mexico, for example, wanted to become states of the United States, well, why not?
Or you could conquer Canada and have Quebec.
No, we'd rather have Canada conquer the northern United States.
Well, actually, we tried that. That's what happened to Benedict Arnold, that in 1775, he was sent up to siege Quebec and make it the 14th U.S. colony. And Quebec basically just locked up the city and let him freeze outside all winter until he gave up and went home.
We have over.
But that is why Benedict Arnold turned traitor, because they sent him that miserable duty and then turned him down for a promotion.
And if anyone's wondering, we have over 90 islands that are American territory.
Yeah, whatever. I still maintain that we should find an island and oh, that was harsh. Purple can do. Blimey, what are you doing? That was
Jenny
really
might have dropped
harsh.
her phone.
Purple can do the tunnels. I'll be the king. Will can be the jester.
Oh no! I'm not on that island. No, I'm not playing on this one. I'm
Are you saying you don't want to be on my island? Because
I'm segregating myself.
You are so racist. Will.
I told you, Stu, I've got a better plan. We're not going to just find an island that anybody's going to let us have. We have to build our own. So anybody can come with the provision that they donate 50,000 Lego pieces to build the island.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was a lovely conversation we had.
Are you saying that my kingdom will be built from Lego?
Are you saying that would be a bad thing?
I'm not. I'm saying nothing. I'm asking you a question.
All right, but can we
That's
use
my plan.
Craggle on the Legos?
I kind of like the Lego idea. I don't understand what Kitty is saying because she's too busy jiggling her bosoms and playing that stupid game. So
Craggle from the Lego movie.
In the Lego movie, it was basically crazy glue. And
yes, it prevents the Legos from coming apart. So no,
yeah,
but that's not a good thing because it makes remodeling difficult.
But if your core structure, if the core exterior structure, you would want that cemented in, and then you can rearrange the interior all you want. If you're going to build a building out of Lego.
I want someone to build a crossover piece for Lego that is attaches to Lego, but then on the other side it attaches to a Rector set.
Would we be Stulites?
Yes.
Could we do human sacrifice for all the fuckwits in the world?
Yes.
Can I be a Stulian?
I'm just going to usurp your kingdom stool. I'd look better on the money anyway.
You guys would be called Stoolies.
Oh, Jesus.
Stoolies.
Man, now I'm getting some culty vibes. I don't know if I want to be a part of this island.
Exactly. It reminds me of the Moonies.
It's the Moonies. I was just thinking that.
No.
Although I would rather be a Kittian than a Stoolian.
You're missing the point here because if you look into my eyes, don't
do it.
You will like my kingdom. You will.
Mine would be
my
better.
Kingdom.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Your mind powers won't work on me. And I have a secret weapon.
Oh.
Yeah, Kitty, unfortunately, because of your secret weapon, most men will never find your eyes.
That's okay. As long as they listen to what I have to say, I really don't care.
The baby feeders win still. The baby feeders win all day long, mate.
I went and found the cheeses because Kitty was talking about them earlier.
Dude, cheeses are the shit, man. I fucking love cheeses.
White
Well,
cheddar cheese.
I have something that will absolutely sell stew on the Lego Island. These are the new Lego mermaids for this year.
Amazing,
God.
Purple. Amazing.
There was actually a show here. One of the guys from Top Gear built a full-size Lego house that someone could live in.
Was it James May?
James May, yeah, and it was I think it's on YouTube actually. The structure of it was everything was Lego, foundations, a lot.
He had quite a few specials on the American version of the BBC. They actually showed how they built the house and everything.
Is there an American version of the BBC? I thought the BBC was everywhere now.
After they canceled, who's the big orangutan guy who was
poisoning the world?
Who's the big orangutan guy that was a host of Top Gear? He said something horrible about the Falkland Islands War, and he got fired.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes. So after he got canned, they gave him and the other guy a bunch of shows. They gave James May, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Wow, I watched them for years, and I already forgot their names. Human beings are trash. But they gave him both specials, and that Lego one was amazing. James May does all kinds of stuff.
This does not impress me. James May is a dick. So, I'm doing this just for Kitty, okay? If you want to see the size of my weapon, it's fucking huge, okay? It's very big and lengthy. Okay?
Stool.
Okay, so show it off.
Oh, go away.
But you were trying to show something off.
Stool. Don't ever. Hey, mine lights up.
Yeah, but yours is black, so you're a racist.
It better be. It better be.
I mean, I'm with Will on this one. If it wasn't, that'd be some. His mom would have some explaining to do. Super explain, like some fucking Ricky Ricardo. You got some explaining to do. And there'd be some chimerism going on there.
Yeah.
So not only would he have absorbed his twin in utero, his fraternal twin, but his ma would have had some explaining to do.
All you need through that, Will, is some 6-inch nails, and you'll be tough enough then to live in the north of England. Gotta have your wits about you up there, mate.
I don't know if I could hang with it. It wouldn't be the people that would kill me. It would be the weather. I'm from the desert.
To be fair, Will went to Wales once.
I have. Why are you telling my? Yes, I have been to Wales. Beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful women.
Oh, the fucking Welsh accent. Makes me all tingly.
Great people.
Oh,
John
John
Behrman did a helicopter in front of me, and I was not offended.
Everybody mute yourselves now, because I'm getting it. I'm doing a thing now with Kitty. Kitty, I can do a thing if you want me to do a thing.
Oh God, do I want to agree to this? I'm not so certain.
Oh,
but do your thing.
You trust me.
Famous last words.
I can do a thing.
It's right up there with hold my beer and watch what I can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know I can do a thing. I can do a thing. I can do things.
You got to go put your trench coat on.
Oh no. Now
go. That's Welsh.
That's that railway station. No, it is. It's the railway station in Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, but I did it better. I didn't say that's a railway station. I said climb 5 posts going to Orbith Quanticellia, go, go, go.
I like that Chubby Brown joke when he said, I've got that Welsh railway station tattooed on my penis. Real.
So fun. Who would tattoo their dick?
That's actually a really funny joke, Doug. But I remember that joke, but the Americans won't get it. Don't.
I wasn't aimed at them. It was aimed at you.
So, you guys know about like the Tiger King and stuff, you Brits, right? And
Why are you bringing up my hero,
Baskin.
Kitty?
Okay, so like Carol Baskin, like she was doing cameos.
Is she the husband murderer?
No,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, she's the alleged husband murderer.
Yeah, she done him in.
No, so here's the thing. She was doing cameos, and somebody had her read off a letter basically to this like well-known like pedo in Australia and mentioning his good buddy Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
And she read it off not having any idea what
Yeah.
she was talking about.
Most Americans would have no idea who that creep was.
We love Jimmy.
We did at one point.
I've never
I mean,
heard.
wasn't there a
before.
statue of him? Like
and,
Jim Fix It was like huge for you
And
guys.
Gary Glitter, right?
He was
Jimmy
like your
Savile
Mr.
Barker.
Rogers.
Well, Gary Glitter's disappeared somewhere off around Vietnam where he probably gets his fill of young boys now.
Yikes!
I don't know if he's being
actually-
watched anymore.
Yikes!
You know, you don't tend to play the voice of that person, the Jimmy person, over here anymore. But because of politics, yes, I'm going there. I knew our government is now doing a stupid thing with our trains, and I heard they played the fucking thing from. They played the thing from Jimmy Savile. I've no idea how old you are, but they played that damn thing. This is the age of the train.
Yeah, I wish he was under one at the time.
This is the age of the fucking train. Oh fuck. I'm living in a fucking Narnia land. Jimmy Savile is now. What the fuck is happening?
But no, like he was essentially your Mr. Rogers, right?
He was worse. He was a monster, Savile. Absolute
Well,
monster.
no. I mean, like before everyone knew he was a fucking pedo. Like he was like the UK equivalent to like Mr. Rogers, beloved
Oh,
children.
yeah, he was.
They let him run a hospital. Imagine being famous and someone's like, "Hey, you can go run a hospital because everyone knows you."
Yeah, he was Children's
Savile.
Hospital as well.
Jimmy
So
Savile, yeah.
he enabled himself. He also had the keys to, I think it was
Prison.
Broadmoor,
Yeah.
the
Broadmoor.
psychiatric prison, and he basically would roam that, and he would go down to the morgue and that and mess about with the bodies. He was a monster.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute, just disgusting human being.
What you've got
So-
to I don't want to turn this into a Jimmy Savile kind of fest, but he did bad things with young people, and that's sick. But he also did things with dead people, and
Of the two, though, the dead people one bothers me less because you're literally just a hunk of meat. Like you're dead. You don't care. Like
Oh, what
you're not hurting somebody. You're not traumatizing someone. Like unless you get
You-
found out, then you're traumatizing everyone who learned about it. But there's
Yeah.
a difference between victimizing a living victim and fucking some dead meat.
I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. I'm
When
totally
I
with
pass,
It's still gross.
we can at
But-
Bernie's me. I don't care because I won't be there. I'll be dead. Full
Kitty,
weekend at Bernie,
here's-
I won't care.
you. Kitty, here's the thing: if you've got free access to a morgue in a hospital, that's weird. Firstly, that's very weird.
Well, I mean, I wanted to be a medical examiner, so that's like that would have been where I would be hanging out because I
Yeah.
would be the doctor doing the autopsies.
And that's cool. I also wanted to be a Quincy. That's before your time. You don't know what a Quincy is.
I know
'cause you're
Quincy.
too young.
I used to watch Quincy.
Quincy
And
Emmy.
I think it would be a fitting tribute to Godless Sewing that after he dies, we should do the Weekend at Bernie's things and take him to a Las Vegas casino.
But here's
Please.
Kitty.
And you have to take me to a dude strip club and a woman strip club.
I want to
Oh,
use his
shut up.
head as one of them great big security mirrors. You know them security mirrors that can see all around?
Okay.
He's a big shiny head as that, a big chrome dome of his.
Okay, we
When
should
you-
let Stool finish.
When you're a Quincy, you respect the dead people, yeah? Also, you need the theme tune, but whatever. But don't do it. Don't do it.
Go
No,
on then.
shush.
All
Don't do it. Don't do the theme
Now I just have
tune.
the Blake 7 song stuck in my head.
You can't do the theme tune, dog.
Right.
Purple will get bannited if we do the theme tune. But the Savile did really, really bad things with the dead people. Really bad things. So
Like
You know,
I said,
this-
I'd rather like somebody prey on dead people than living people.
Yeah, the sad thing is, there's worse people in society. It's only because he was famous that he got the limelight, but there's far worse people than him about on this planet that are doing this now
Well,
to
yeah.
young children, children, toddlers, and then killing them afterwards. It's
Jesus
sadistic,
Christ.
evil. They're basically paedophile snuff movies they're making, and they're just so bad. I haven't seen one, but I know they are happening. And
permission.
this is the people we live with, who live amongst us, let's say.
When this stream ends, Purple, and we all go and get naked, so when it's not live and when we do the usual thing and we get naked and get jiggy, can we all sing the theme tune to Quincy?
Yeah, after we're offline, you can try that. I don't think I remember it that well. But
know
yeah,
it so well.
I think what Hunter was saying here, yeah, I think we need a new topic.
Yeah, serious.
Yeah, let's move along. Come on, move along. Let's not talk about Jimmy Savile, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's just a wrong subject. Let's talk about stool for a while.
Yeah, well, if we're on a subject that I can't actually put in the description without it getting the string taken down, I need something else.
Can I, just before we kind of veer off away from this subject, the theme tune for Quincy was awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I have a
you'll have to
question.
refresh my memory later.
Who still owns a VCR? Can you hear that?
I haven't had a VCR for a long time.
I know that I still technically own a VCR. It is somewhere in my storage, along with a couple of packs of blank tapes that are still in shrink wrap.
I still have one or two that's still.
Well, even DVD players, they're becoming obsolete now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny you would say that. They only sell Star Trek now on Blu-ray. Because I'm tactile. I like actually having the physical discs and watching and like having the experience to be able to watch it myself, walk around the house with my laptop,
Yep.
Everything's Blu-ray.
So,
I've actually
well,
been seeing that more and more of more shows that they're only selling on Blu-ray. And in fact, I've been able to pick up a couple of series because, they were closing out the DVD copies.
That's how I got
They just don't
Enterprise.
want to have shelf space for them anymore.
That's how I got
Most
the
of
entire
my-
series of Enterprise.
I've got a collection of CDs, as we called them in the old days, and DVDs. A huge collection, most of which I don't own anymore because, divorce. But most of my favourite Star Trek movies are now in the cloud, if you like. and I'm guessing Willie's gonna not be very happy about that.
That's awful. Do you know the cloud is just someone else's computer? We've been told a lot of stuff. That's
Damn.
awful. Do you know
And that
when,
comes
Yeah,
from
the
the
cloud is
guy
just
who sent
offline
a fax
storage.
yesterday?
still to this day, my ex-wife and I, we did some pretty evil stuff to each other, but she threw away season 3 of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, twatter! Kill the bitch.
You know what? No, we've come leaps and bounds, but I'm petty as hell, and I still remember. I eventually went out and got another one because it had to complete my series, you know.
Native Atheist is mentioning Jack Klugman on Twilight Zone. That was actually his first TV appearance. The classic Twilight Zone had the first appearances of a lot of people that we know now,
Very true.
including Ron Howard.
William Shatner, he was on there, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who got to be really well-known actors after that. That was the first time they were on TV.
The William Shatner one, was that the one he was on the plane and there was like a demon on the wing or something?
Yep.
Well, that was in the movie that was made in the 2000s. Yeah, that was kind of their rebooting the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that was a remake of the original series, and Shatner was the guy, and in the movie it was John Lithgow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember it being an old black and white one. Yeah.
What you've really got to remember is that most of these people who were really famous in those classic TV shows, such as Quincy, MD, etc., they're now all dead.
Okay, so it's so funny you would say that. I watch a ton of old TV, and it. My son always asks me like, "Oh, what happened to these people?" And I tell him like, "They've all passed. They've all already come and gone."
We had all them shows here, even in the 70s. I used to love them. We had a Starsky and Hutch, Streets of San Francisco, Kojak. We had all of them. They were great shows. Dukes of Hazzard.
I'll tell you something.
They filmed Dukes of Hazzard by my house.
Knight Rider.
But one of my favourite ever things ever in my life ever was Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, it's a brilliant show.
Okay, I will warn people, anything you remember being a great show that you haven't seen in more than 10 years, just let it stay a memory. Don't try to watch it again because you'll find out it was a piece of crap.
Oh, I don't know. I'll be watching Knight Rider again. That's brilliant.
See, I watch a lot of the old stuff, but you know what?
$6 million man only got stupid when Bigfoot got involved.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I love you, dog. I love you, mate.
And the Bionic Woman. No disrespect to women, but when Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman, came with her super hearing on one ear, that was just pointless.
Bing, 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 bing.
Actually, the super hearing made a lot more sense than most of the bionic powers.
See, now I just have the Wonder Woman theme song stuck in my head. That song was banging.
Yeah, see, the Bionic Man, they didn't account for things that, even if both of his legs and one of his arms was bionic, when he tried to lift up a truck, it was still going to squish his torso.
Yeah, you'd rip, like you can't pick up a car with a bionic arm.
Yeah, you'd most likely rip the arm off at the shoulder.
You put his back out.
Your entire body would have to be enhanced because
your spine would take weight.
Yeah. So, like, at best, the arm would rip off of your torso in the attempt.
Well, that would be it. He'd lift the car up and you'd see him limping away going, hold me back. That would be more realistic, obviously. But it wouldn't make a good show, would it?
I've done this conversation before. And now... That's a really nice noise. I've done this conversation before, and I've said how fucking much all the $6 million man toys cost in the old days. And if you do the valuation, and yeah, picker, fuck off, Will, picker. And they're actually worth an absolute fortune these days.
I had one of each as well, though, still. I had a Oscar Goldman and a Barnack Man.
Oh, well, you're crap. I had more than you, so fuck off. You're shit.
Well, I had all my other stuff as well.
Did you have an Oscar Goldman?
Yeah, with the briefcase.
The exploding briefcase.
Yeah, you opened it one way and had bits in it, and if you turned it over and opened it that way, it was all exploded. Yeah. If it was in minting box, it'd be worth about 30k.
Oh my gosh.
And you had your Steve Austin had that little pump thing on the back that made the arm go up, and he had a plastic engine. And it had the little hole in the back of the head, didn't it? The hole in the back of the head with it slightly magnified. Yeah, it was slightly magnified. But all them toys are nonsense. Evil Knievel, that was another one. Stock car smash up. All the stuff the Americans sent us, all the junk. It didn't last 2 minutes. But obviously, a lot of it has become cult. I mean, look at the comic books and the figures that came with them and stuff. They're all worth thousands.
That's why those toys are so valuable and so rare, is because a lot of people remember having them as children, but they all broke. So to find one intact is really rare.
Exactly.
I've actually made a large amount of money off of comic books. Those are great investments. Because people get nostalgic, and you'd be surprised. Someone actually paid me $90 for one Spider-Man because it was the first appearance of the Black Cat, I think. Is that her name?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I actually got started in my toy trading stuff with finding classic Transformers in the thrift stores.
Oh, yeah.
But 50 years ago, well, I wasn't savvy enough to know this is a good investment. I just wanted to read Iron Man and
I had a brother
stuff like that.
I had a brother who was really into comics, and he would always tell me, buy one copy to read and buy a reader's copy. But that's back when comic books were like a quarter, 50 cents. They were expensive at like $1.50. Comic books were nothing back then. So I'd show up with a $5 and feel like a millionaire at the comic book store.
Even Betty and Veronica, they're going for fortunes now. Old versions of them.
I mean, I've sold Swamp Thing, The It, Fantastic Four, a bunch of runs of Spider-Man. I have a ton of the Hulk because Hulk is like, if I'm ever in a pinch, I'm going to sell my Hulk comic books. Those things are worth a lot of money.
Well, that was another one. That was another show back in the 70s and 80s. Was the Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
Absolutely. Did you ever watch the show King of Queens?
Oh, I love that show.
Lou Ferrigno was on the later episodes, and Lou played Lou Ferrigno. It was awesome.
The only thing that I didn't like about that show, which I thought it was a really funny show, the thing that I did not like was the I forget her name. What's she called?
Leah Remedy.
What's her name? Yeah, that's the one. And she was still in Scientology, and she did a few sneaky things to promote her cult in the show. That was not good. That was not cool.
Oh,
but it was a funny show. I'm going to give you this. It was very funny. That was when she was still a star in that at the time.
Yeah, they've really rigged her through the coals, actually. I feel sorry for her. Because all she did was say, hey, this is a cult. These people are wreck and they stole all my money. Not all of it, but a good proportion. She paid a ton of money to learn the
Hang
secret.
on a minute. Hang on a cotton picking minute. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that phrase. Hang on, Will. Are you saying that somebody was duped into paying lots of money into the Scientology cult? Damn it. That's a new one.
Well, of course she's not the first. So anyways, she felt like an idiot and she lashed out and she told the truth.
Well, they make you shove hamsters up your ass.
No, the Scientology, they're weird. Like it reminds me almost of like gay conversion therapy, where they just lock you in a room and beat the hell out of you. Because really, like, what is it? That's really what it is. It's just people standing over you and saying, you will believe in this. You will.
Well, it's the alien side of Scientology that's stupid.
Hey, okay.
Well, what do you expect from a religion started by a science fiction writer?
I say this with love,
Exactly.
evidence, or GTFO. Evidence or get out of my face.
I think the whole thing of Scientology was probably a rejected novel concept that no editor was willing to see far enough to get it published, so he made it a religion instead.
And now they own literally the southern half of Los Angeles.
Any place where you gather and you chant psalms and hymns to some effigy and give money to it is a cult, as far as I'm concerned. There's no difference than anything else.
Would you call saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning cultish?
It is indoctrination, yes.
It's like patriotic indoctrination, isn't it?
Yep.
And
because you are getting children to recite the chant before they have any comprehension of what it means. So if you're getting them to memorize it when they don't know what they're saying, that's definitely indoctrination.
Okay.
Well, I went to Catholic school as a child, and we had to say the Lord's Prayer before and after every lesson.
So I was about to say that as well. I went to catechism classes until I was 17. I remember every prayer. I remember the Pledge of Allegiance. I remember God Bless America. I know all of this by heart still to this day. Because it was, literally beaten into my head.
Well, this is exactly what I've been arguing with this guy today on Twitter, or Twitter as Still puts it. He's a Kevin Sorbo fan. And we're arguing about World War II. The Brits weren't at the Normandy landings, obviously, and America came over and shooed away the Luftwaffe from bombing Britain, even though the bombing had stopped a year before America even joined the war. Things like Spanish flu didn't originate in America. Well, that's why it's called Spanish flu, you dare. Telling me, I say you clearly are an idiot.
I'm going to mention Spanish flu, because if you've not been paying attention to the orange person's blogs, he's still babbling on about Spanish flu.
Calling it Spanish flu was largely an indoctrination tactic because Spain tried to remain neutral.
Well,
and the U.S. and Great Britain wanted Spain to join the war against Germany. Well,
basically the community. World War One had busted down the after Armistice Day on World War One. It took a good 6 months for the war to literally wind down because it had to get across all these countries to people. Spain remained neutral throughout the First World War, and they were basically the only country that was still broadcasting news, and that's why it became the Spanish flu. And it's basically swine flu from mid-America. That's all it is, and that killed 100 million people.
Actually, there are indications that it did start within the U.S., possibly at camps in Kentucky may have been where it first appeared.
It originated from pigs, they say, in Kentucky. Yeah, that was the state I got. But that killed 100 million people.
Wow.
If you're not aware of Trump's latest blog...
Jenny's trying to say something.
Sorry, my
I
bad.
just said you all know that the special relationship between Kentuckians and their pigs.
Yeah.
I was thinking it too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it.
Well,
I'm glad you said it.
You know, there are a number of species that have a number of viruses that have jumped species, and you have to kind of wonder about that.
No, I
So
don't.
I'm gonna jump in now.
Wrong.
If I'm allowed to talk, if you've not seen Trump's latest blog post, which is literally all he does these days, he blogs.
I hope
He's
McDonald's catches up with him.
He's very pissed off because he was talking about 1917 Spanish flu, but of course he gets the date wrong, and he's begging. Have you seen it? Just okay. I'll shut up. Have you seen it?
No,
Any of
I
you? Have you
haven't.
seen it?
No, is this on his new site?
Yeah, it's on his blog site, and he's begging for attention because he wants to be. He wants to be.
And who is Donald Trump again?
I can't remember. Orange guy.
He was on a TV show that got cancelled.
He's getting really shitty and pissy because he invented the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's solely responsible for curing COVID, isn't he?
It's literally what he said.
It's when he had it for 2 days that got me. 2 days he had it for, and he kicked its ass. Yeah, it's Agent Orange for you.
I would not usually. I wouldn't have seen his nonsense unless somebody had retweeted it. But he's done a really long blog, and by long I mean this long, where he's doing. I'm not exaggerating. It's this long, where he's bitching about how he created the vaccine and he saved the world.
Yeah, he did
I want
nothing.
whatever. He's sniffing something, snorting something. He's on something.
He's just a narcissist, mate. He's just a massive narcissist.
That has basically been Trump's entire life, to slap his name on something and claim credit for it when he had nothing to do with developing it.
That's disgusting.
Honestly,
that's exactly
like
what he
the
said.
main thing.
This is the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's his main thing is branding. Essentially, he branded himself and sold his brand, and like that. That's the only way he was able to make any money. Because had he just invested the money in fucking low risk bonds, or hell, just left it in an account, it would have made more money, and he'd be wealthier now than.
So if you read the thing that he's written, and I'm not exaggerating, it is literally, well, not literally, but it's like 5 foot long. His bitch post on his blog.
You are going to have to report to us on this, because I sure as hell am not going to waste my time reading it.
Yeah, Donald Trump gives me anxiety, so I've been avoiding
credit for it. He's claiming credit. He's saying, I did this. I did the vaccine before anybody else in the world. And
Germany came up for it, wasn't it? Wasn't it called Operation Warp Drive? Wasn't it? That was the drive to.
Yeah, the first one came out of Germany.
We all know Trump is full of shit, and that this is just another mouthy ploy to get attention.
Pretty much.
Well, he's withering away because his name isn't in the newspaper every day.
Exactly. We have an adult in the White House.
Well, when the first one came out of America, the pharmaceutical company that made it weren't even part of Trump's Warp Drive initiative.
Yeah, the Warp Speed Initiative.
The Warp Speed Initiative, that was it.
I need to say something very serious here, Doug. You know, we're with Americans, so let's be careful.
Oh no, I love Americans, mate. I love them, but I have to admit there are some fuckwits over there. But we have our fuckwits here too.
I was going to say, you
Yeah,
guys have
but-
Boris Johnson and the entirety of the Tories, so
Yeah,
you're
well,
not
yeah,
really
but-
ones to talk.
We have our
Hey.
religious nuts. We have our flat earthers as well. But there's a lot more people over there. So ratio wise, yeah, they're winning.
I'm saluting. Okay.
Yeah, America, you know,
God bless
America is just
Britain.
like
Oh,
fucking
Graham
Graham
Linehan
Linehan is a just
Britain does the
toilet
whole
paper.
Brexit thing and fucking solidifies Tory power, and America's like, hold my beer. Like,
Yeah, we've got the same here. But
And you
go
guys
on,
have
Bill.
you have real life turfs. You have Posey Parker, Venice Allen.
Britain
Yeah.
is super violent.
Oh, what's her name? Linda Bellows, Dr. Julia
J.K.
Long.
Rowling.
Those are real.
Yeah, X was just mentioning Graham Lineman and J.K. Rowling.
And Graham Linehan he needs a hobby. He's disgusting. He is just absolutely disgusting.
Okay, guys, I am
Graham is
exhausted.
such a
It's almost
total
3 in the
bad
morning,
friend.
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
head off to bed.
A while ago, I was going to ask if we were losing you because you seemed to be fading out there.
Yeah, no, like I was just scanning planets, and then I'm
Well,
like, yeah, I don't want to do anything story related because
Well, I do want to hear what Stu has to say, though.
Bye,
Okay,
Giddy.
I'm still saluting because you know what, Americans? We saved your lives because we invented the vaccinator.
Yeah, and we invented time.
I'm telling
Great.
you, yeah.
Yeah, Greenwich Mean Time runs 0 through the planet.
That's not how you say Eisenhower.
Also, who invented flat Earth?
All right, you guys can enjoy your little fucking war across the pond. I'm out. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, and we are
Hey,
joined by a
Kitty.
rabid
Good
Good
possum.
night.
Yep,
Oh,
one
she's
falls and
gone.
another takes its
Oh.
place.
I think the Flat Earth Society was French. I think it come up in French in the 14th century, if I remember. If the history of the 15th century maybe.
You know, I watch, we all watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, whatever. I thought flat earthers was just some BS that people, spout on YouTube. No, there are real
Yeah.
people
They
that
have sincere beliefs in it, yeah.
Oh, you've got to be
That's-
kidding me. I
Yeah,
checked
I-
it out.
Big old movement.
Until I started watching YouTube regularly, I didn't think anyone believed in the flat Earth. I thought it was just a running joke.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a whole genre of stupid.
I have a friend in Texas, and she said, because I said, I made a very bold statement. I'm like, people still believe in that. And she's like, I live in Texas. And she said, she's like, I just recently got in an argument with someone at work about the earth being flat. And I'm like, wow, what a digression we have. We have taken three giant steps backwards.
Yeah, I have never actually, gotten into a discussion about it in person. I haven't found anyone who is actually claiming it to my face. I do have a guy in one of my hobby groups who takes the Bible literally and has argued with me about Noah's Ark.
To be fair, these sort of conspiracies and religion have put us back scientifically so far that at this moment in time, if none of that ever existed, I could have been sitting on Titan in a McDonald's eating a burger.
I'm so lame. I just want really big Nikes and a hoverboard.
We could have had all of that, mate. Religion has stopped all that.
Full Marty McFly.
How could we do that in 6,000 years, mate?
Well, the problem, as I was saying earlier, was that unfortunately society tries to make sure everybody survives, so we have removed all of the pressure from evolution. See, by the normal evolutionary process, the stupid ones would get themselves killed in adolescence before they had a chance to mate. But we protect the stupid ones now, so everybody gets a chance to have kids.
Well, if you want to bring that back, just give everyone a motorcycle. I almost killed myself like 4 or 5 times.
Seriously, okay.
Yeah, just
Well,
go watch
this
the
is-
opening like 10 minutes of Idiocracy. It summed it all
Yeah,
pretty well.
look at what teenage boys typically do. In
But
the
it has
wild,
electrolytes.
some of them would get themselves killed off before they ever got close enough to a girl to have kids.
This
Plants
is where
grave.
This is where I start the opening theme tune to Will and I's new sitcom. Will, you remember what we were talking about?
You know, you and I say a lot of things, Stool.
We have no patience. We have no patience for these dicks. So, yeah, I'm not going to do it. Don't worry, perps. I'll just mime it on my piano, okay?
Hey, if y'all are doing a sitcom, I want in.
Still to this day, Stool is the only person I've ever known to be shut down in midstream for copyright strike. I was there. It was almost like
no.
a year ago.
It's happened to two of my streams as well.
I was shocked. I was like, "Is this real? Is this real life?"
Yeah, one of them, it happened in my stream just because we were sharing cute animal pictures.
Oh,
And somebody put up one that had the Discovery Channel logo on it, and yeah, in 10 seconds the stream was dead.
Yeah, they're watching.
Well, people say things all the time, and I'm very doubtful. I don't like to say skeptical. I'm like, show me. It really happened.
I'd have to dig back through my streams to find out which one it was, but there is one of my streams that you'll find it wound up being a two-parter thing because they cut it off and I restarted it.
That's exactly what Stool did, I think. It was a lifetime ago.
I think that was sometime last fall.
I'm still looking for actors in my new sitcom. Me and Will are already there.
Who's going to play the mermaids?
Are you volunteering, Purple?
No, I just know that Stool won't make anything that doesn't have mermaids in it.
I think I'm not allowed to talk about this because obviously my theory will be stolen, and I don't want that to happen. But yeah, Ox, you could be. I need Will's help here now. Will.
Yeah, I'm.
Doing something.
Will went bye-bye.
I'm right here. What's
Will? Look, I'm really personal about this new thing that I'm creating. So we talked about this earlier or a few days ago. So let's not don't give clues because I'm copywriting this fucker. So when you walk in, Will.
I'm right here, man. No, you do this. Just keep going. Don't do that UK thing where people need to be paying attention to you. Just keep going.
Okay.
I'm so ADD. I'm like looking. I have a TV over here. I'm checking hockey scores. Keep going.
I'm getting bored. So right. So the big guys come to the door. They want to beat you up. Okay.
Okay.
You're not paying attention, are you?
No, it would not be okay with me if some people came to the door wanting to beat me up. I would not be okay with that.
The big guys come to the door. They want to beat you up. We do that thing on the thing.
Yeah.
That you're in charge of.
Yeah.
Okay, Stool, you're gonna have to save this until we're offline because if the audience can't follow what you're talking about, that's just not helping the stream.
Were you stoned when we talked about this? Because this is the best fucking sitcom ever.
He's Will, of course he was stoned when you talked about it.
I'm going to be one of the guys that comes to beat Will up.
No.
My gambling habits have never been that bad.
Well, I'm going on the George Lucas model. I'm developing the toy line for my new series while I'm still writing the book.
That's where the money's at.
That's where he got his
George
money.
Lucas got to be so rich.
Well, that's it. Well, by the time you've written the book, the toys will be... You'd have changed the toys again.
Yeah. But
you just keep changing
George
it then.
Lucas made all of his money because he took, the studio laughed at him at the small percentage of ticket sales he asked for, but the thing he kept hold of was complete control of all the merchandising.
And he also gave points to the cast members too.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh,
Yeah, so George
wow.
Lucas made his money not off the movies, but off of all the toys that were sold.
Wow.
So you had Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Han Solo. What the fuck is his name? As millionaires just from that movie series. They didn't have to really do any other movie after that.
Which was a good thing, too, because they got so typecast, it was pretty hard for them to find work as anything but those characters.
True. Though I did like Carrie Fisher in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
What else was she in besides that?
The about it, wasn't it?
Well, before Star Wars, she was in American Graffiti.
No, I know that, but like,
which was a George Lucas production. And you know what, Will? You're such a racist. I was really, I was really pushing my.
People call me a racist for everything.
I was really selling my new idea for a sitcom here, and you just fucking forgot about it.
You were dancing
But here's the
around
thing.
it. I kind of have a vague
I gave you the starring role in my new sitcom.
Donnie McYon.
Okay, so here we go. I've got some stuff for you here. You have the Man with One Red Shoe. She was in that movie. She was in Amazing Stories for one episode. She was in Amazon Women on the Moon. That's a classic comedy. She was in The Burbs. She was in Loverboy. When Harry Met Sally. I'm just jumping in between.
Yeah, pretty much just bit parts, though. Nothing that she's
a
big character.
Drop Dead Fred. She was a very uncredited part on Hook.
Wow.
She was in Austin Powers, The Therapist. She was on Scream 3 and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. She was one of the nuns. Oh yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie.
Well, I especially like the part at the end where they're rich and they have enough money that they just fly to other places and beat the shit out of teenagers that talk crap on them online. I loved it.
I regularly reference that all the time, Max. All the
That's
time.
what you aspire to, X, huh?
Hey,
having enough money that you can go and beat the crap out of anybody who leaves bad comments on your videos.
Well, not so much them, but I do have a special place in hell lined up for Matt Powell for calling me the F slur.
See, that deserves a throat punch. Perfect example. Ding dong, throat punch. That should be legal.
The glitter bomb was not enough. I need to do more.
Have you heard the news?
The great thing about somebody who gives you a slur like that and you go and beat them up is that either they stay quiet about it or they have to admit that they were beat up by somebody who they said was that.
Okay, so this is real life. I have had the pleasure of being able to punch somebody in their face and being like, you just got beat up by the F word. How do you feel about yourself? And then walk away as their life just completely crumbles.
I don't give a shit about this because I've been trying to speak for the past 5 minutes. So, you've heard the news, have you not? And I don't know how old you people are, but there's going to be a new Friends episode.
Yeah, I couldn't give two shits about Friends. Never even watched it when it was on.
I never paid attention to the original one.
Okay, so this is what happened. They got me in the commercials. They got me for at least 25 seconds because I was really baked yesterday, and I was like, it just wasn't my show. I was more into Seinfeld. I don't know. It wasn't my show. I'm from the West Coast. We didn't live like that.
Yeah. There was not a single character in there I could identify with. I never watched it.
And to live in the city like that, wouldn't they each would have had to make like $500,000 each or something?
Well, that's true of any sitcom that's ever been set in New York. That they all have ridiculously large apartments.
Yeah. Because in real life, those people would be having conversations in like small boxes, you know?
I heard recently
now, please.
somebody in New York paid $1,000 a month for literally a closet.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, I suppose we'll let Stool finish.
Oh, thank you. So here's the thing. I don't actually give a shit about this, but I kind of do. Because it was a massively popular show. And I liked it, so screw me. Whatever.
No, people are allowed to like what they like. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's number one.
You can't help it that you don't have any taste.
Fuck off, Jenny. So, number...
He's French. What do you expect?
Oh, that's catching on. That is so beautiful. I'm so proud every time someone calls you French.
I'm not fucking French. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. You're Belgian?
He's a northern monkey. That's what he is.
Oh. This is for every time you called me racist. It makes me so happy when people call you French.
Is that your thing?
No, because I see that it annoys you, so it makes it even better.
Well, pretty soon he's going to be a Northumbrian.
Yeah, I saw that crap today. That's like those people that have been trying to succeed from the Union, like make Southern California its own state. They've been trying to do that for a while. Good luck. It's not going to happen.
Number two, the theme tune was awesome. And if you disagree with me, you can fuck off.
All right, sounds good.
Number 4, Jennifer Aniston's tits are awesome. And fight me. You can't disagree with this.
Well, they probably gone south now, mate. They're probably like spaniels' ears.
And I was going to do a number 5, but the guy's just gone away. But I hate that fucker because his audio is so fucking sexy. So fuck off and go and die.
Attitude.
I will fight on my hill for this because that theme tune and that show was good. It really was fucking good. It went really shit.
It was the feature. Was it the Rembrandts, wasn't it?
I saw the commercial for it.
It did have a good theme song, and I think the reason it was popular was it sold an impossible fantasy. Everybody wants to believe New York is glamorous, and most of the country has no idea of the reality.
New York is awesome. I love New York.
Try to live there.
I do. Well, I did. I worked there. I used to work there at least. I used to go there, 2-3 times a year and work for like a month.
I lived in Syracuse, which was the middle of New York State. I'd only been in New York City for about 5 days in my entire life, and for me, that was pretty much enough of it. I'm not really big on the big cities. Don't appeal to me. I just can't stand everything being that crowded in.
I had an amazing time. I have a cousin who lives there. Amazing human being. Great place to visit.
I'll say I had the same problem with Chicago. Just that many people packed into that small of an area.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I had to look down to see who left.
Yeah, we lost Stool.
I'm going to tell you, in all of my travels, I discovered that I am extremely a warm weather person. So, like I always say, I wanted to live in Alaska so bad, and I ended up knowing that I wouldn't be able to survive the winter. So I just moved down south.
I see. So California's southern Alaska?
I wish. No, it was. I had this dream of just being out in the country, out literally out in the middle of nowhere. And I've lived all different places in America. And I got there, and there's a difference between perception. There's perception and reality. And I got there, and it was, Yeah.
I spent about 20 years actually planning out how to build a self-sufficient homestead. And the problem is, if I had started it when I was in my mid-20s, might have been okay. But by the time I finished planning it out and realizing how much just fucking physical work it was going to be, I was no longer in shape to think that I could do that on a daily basis.
And that's my thing too. Like, I am not in the same physical condition that I was 20 years ago. And because of my lungs, I won't be in the same physical condition 20 years from now, you know? So I had to consider that too.
If you're around at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I needed to live somewhere that was a little bit more warm. But I will say, when I lived in Portland and oddly, Phoenix, I didn't get sick one time when I lived there in both places. And I lived in Portland for, like 4 years. And I didn't get sick.
You know why you did so well in Phoenix? Because it gets so goddamn hot there, it kills everything, including hospitals just send their stuff to Phoenix to let them sit out on the street for a day.
Oh, it's unreal. Oh yeah. Arizona is everything in reputation. There's certain stereotypes are there for a reason. And Phoenix it's one of the hottest places I've ever been, where it's consistently hot all the time.
Arizona, the state that gives you Cynthia McCain.
Let's talk about what that place has turned into. When I lived there, it was heaven. It was a great place, because for the same amount, that for the same property value that my house is worth, you can buy a mansion in Arizona. They cater towards people with money. In Arizona, people move there to live better lives because you can live there a little bit cheaper than a place like here, and that place has lost its damn mind, utterly and completely. They're a turf state now. I can't believe that Arizona has turf anti-trans bills.
Well, unfortunately, with the transports thing, they managed to stick it through in a lot of places because. Yeah, I couldn't believe that Minnesota had passed one either, but they got it through under being a thing about high school sports.
I just don't get it. I don't get it anymore. I don't understand.
What it's an indicator of, if it passes in your state, it means that you have legislators who don't take the time to actually learn anything about the bills that they're voting on. That they're completely ignorant and know nothing but bullshit about these bills. None of it is true. None.
Having lived in Arizona, I was kind of beside myself when I saw all the crappy because even if you look at what happened recently, their registrar was no, this whole Trump recount, you guys are wasting our time, you're smearing our reputation. He's a Republican, and he said on CNN, if you guys want to contest an election, he's like, I barely beat the Democrat. I'm a Republican. Contest my election. He was basically saying there was more of a shocker that he won than anything else.
Well, I think kind of when it got to be the thing about the bamboo in the paper, I think that was kind of the breaking point that a lot of Republicans at that point really had to decide whether they were going to stay with the party line or whether they were going to try to, admit that this had gotten ridiculous and hope that they could somehow retain some respectability.
Oh, they're miles past ridiculous. They are on the land to fucking Crazyville. It's a circus. It literally has become a circus. That's why I ignore Trump, because he's just bad for my blood pressure.
I'm gonna take off, you guys. I'm just really tired, and I need to hit the hay.
Yeah, I'm getting there too soon.
Take care, Jenny.
Thanks for having me.
Good night, Jenny.
Good to see you again, kid.
Sorry, numbers are dropping here.
A pretty good discussion again. Absolutely. Good laugh.
That's what it's about. It's just having a good time.
Yeah,
it is. It's not becoming stagnant and getting hit up by the same things. The things that wind you up, and if you can discuss them and have a laugh about them, it's a good healing, I think.
Well, and
Jeez.
that's why, I took a lot of time to pick a name for my channel because I didn't want anything that was going to restrict the subject to anything in particular.
Talking of names, have you picked a name for yourself yet, Berbel? Have you? I know you're in the process of.
Yeah, still haven't settled on one. I at this point kind of favoring Zemia, but haven't found anything that I think that really strikes me real strong. So Zemia is kind of derived from a Slavic word that would mean tiny dragon.
I like it.
I like that.
Well,
you'll get there, mate. You'll get there.
That one's a personal one to me because my fiance's pet name for me was Baby Dragon.
Oh.
So that's why that's the strongest contender at this point.
I'll be right back. I have to go to the sewing room. I was going to go before Stool was like, well.
Although, for a
hey up, you're a racist. That's what you say.
For a purely political advantage, since so many things in our society are done alphabetically, I may change my last name to Aardvark.
Zemia Aardvark.
Well, then I'll wind up first in line at most government offices.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last name starts with an R, so that's probably a good idea. I've been down the list my whole life in school and everything.
Yeah, I've always been in the middle of the alphabet, so a lot of stuff would run out by the time they got to me.
I'm almost at the end.
Well,
but I'm still looking for suggestions because, even that, it doesn't, quite resonate quite right, but...
Well, why don't you just try and get it out there and see what people think? If if it's not working, then you can always go back to the drawing board, can't you?
Yeah, up until I start getting actual official paperwork.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, just roll that out on your channels and that.
Yeah.
Work with some variations. Look for if that's a name from Sanskrit. Look for I don't know, suffixes and prefixes or.
Well, that's kind of what I've been looking at. Kind of the same thing in different languages or different mythologies.
There you go.
Because it is obviously a big decision.
Yeah.
There's a musician.
Well, and it's something that, once I get it officially done, it's, it can be changed again, but I have to kind of look at something I'm going to be comfortable with the rest of my life. Which, I've had a lot of good suggestions that sound good now, but, I also have to consider how is this going to sound when I'm 80?
Well, ask the chat. Hey, chat, what do you think of Samir as a name for Purple?
There you go. There's a band called Little Dragon. They're pretty good.
Oh, no, I never heard of them.
Oh, yeah, you should go check them out. They're, is it Swedish? And their lead singer is like half Japanese, half Swedish.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just Googled it. They've got a Wikipedia page about it. It's a Swedish band.
Yeah, they do this kind of acid jazz style music. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it says it's a Swedish electronic music band, and yeah, the lead singer has what looks to me like a Japanese name.
Yep, and she collabed with Gorillaz on the Plastic Beach album, and she was awesome.
Okay, I'll have to give it a listen later.
But anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you guys.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, Purple. It was a pleasure. Always a pleasure coming on
here. You're always welcome.
It was fun to hang out with you, dog. I don't think I streamed with you before.
Yeah, we've streamed together before, mate.
did
We're
we? Okay.
only I think it was but it was a while back, a
Yeah,
few
I think
months
we've
ago.
both been in my channel together before.
Okay.
But it was again, it was always fun. And Will, always a pleasure with you, and
Absolutely.
and
Good
leave
being
Stu alone because he's soon to be our king. So you got to respect the man.
Absolutely. Great talking to you, dog.
Well, since he's not here, Stool, I don't think is that aware of some of the play features and some of the Lego sets. So yeah, the whole plan to build the island out of Lego. Yeah, I'm just saying trapdoors are pretty common.
Yeah.
Do you think?
He put me in charge of tunnels. Lego is real good at making trapdoors. You put the pieces together. I'm not saying anything more.
Do you think Lego will make a human scale model of the Millennium Falcon for us?
They have already built a full-scale model of an X-wing fighter, so it might not be that far away.
I think the Millennium Falcon, that'll be a good figurehead on Stills Island. That'll be my house. I'll live in that.
Oh yeah, I finally got one of those. I haven't built it yet. It's still in the box.
I found a country called Leftumbria.
But yeah, in January I finally got one of the Millennium Falcon sets. It's the first Lego set I ever got that's got over 1,000 pieces.
Oh, awesome.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to go, and I was just to say, good luck to you all. Wear a mask. Take care. Wear a cup.
Yep. Yeah. Even if you're vaccinated, keep wearing the mask. It helps.
Look after yourself, folks. I'll catch you all later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Leaving Doc is the one with the biggest hat. But don't you know, in any culture, if you walk into some place and you want to figure out who's in charge, just look for the guy with the biggest hat.
So that's people are nicer to me when I wear my cowboy hat. I get this weird respect from people. I love my
in every human culture, it's always been the thing that the guy in charge has the biggest hat. It's the Pope with the tall thing, the king with the crown. It's always the biggest, most ornate hat is who's in charge.
It's true. I said that the other day. I'm like, it was people with big hats who took over the world and ruled it, trying to be asinine, but making a point in the same sense. I get, I love my big hat because I either get, hey, that's a nice hat, or people look at me like I'm from the other side of Mars. Like, do you really exist? So native atheists, we have tons of farmland here. California is humongous, so there's a ton of cowboys here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good-sized herds. California is actually a huge dairy state now.
Huge. But our cow farms are kind of depressing, to tell you the honest truth, because it could be on 500 acres, but they're stuck on that 500 acres and they do not leave. Well, they do leave. Every time you go to Jack in the Box or you go to the grocery store, they leave eventually. But
I'm down to 20% on my phone.
Well, how's the new one holding up for you?
Well, it's generally better. Like it doesn't lag so much when I'm using StreamYard, but if I'm not doing StreamYard, the phone lasts like a day. Like I charge it once a day, pretty much when when I go to bed. But yeah, StreamYard brings that all down to about 2 hours. It's like 20 some hours down to 2 hours. But there are some goofy things with it. I don't know. Maybe I just need to figure it out.
Yeah. I've never had to deal with battery time as far as being online. I've always had some place that I've got plugged into the wall.
Yeah, what I got to do is get some earbuds or something that are like wireless, so I can plug this in while I'm using it. And then it'll probably get hotter.
Well, the thing to do would be to, set it up on something that allows airflow under it and put a fan by it while it's charging.
Yeah. I was even thinking of using like ice packs or something and just have it cold in the fridge or whatever and like just lay the phone on it.
I think probably if you just have a fan blowing across it, and you have it set up on something so it gets air all the way around it, I think that would probably be enough. Ice packs are that you want to be careful about, water, even condensation can cause problems for it.
Yeah, true. And a fan probably would work. My last phone, I would blow on it like the whole time I'm on a stream. So this one's not getting as hot as the old one, but I haven't run it on StreamYard while charging either. So
you would laugh if you saw my setup. I have two fans and going up against all my computers and stuff. Like the temperature thing is a big deal. It's a big deal. I've had a phone overheat in the middle of the Arizona desert. I wasn't even on it, but an iPhone will not go past 117 degrees. It shuts off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've actually never lived anywhere that I had central air conditioning. At most, just air conditioning one room. But I've done quite well with computer equipment without air conditioning as long as there were lots of fans keeping the air moving.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I thought it was all kind of a fairy tale, but the Apple computer I have like literally was like thanking me. It did something that was like, oh, whatever you did really helped the efficiency of this computer. And it was me just putting two fans behind it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking something up here.
So, Will, I wanted to tell you my idea for a sitcom.
Okay.
So, this is a joke. You'll probably recognize it, hopefully. So you got an urban horror who has a fender bender with a millionaire, and actually gets charged with a moving violation, a serious one. So the judge sentences him to be the millionaire's butler.
Hey, Jen.
I was wondering when you were going to show up.
We only just got to Williams. We had to drive through major bushfire. That was good fun.
Oh my God.
So it's good thing we were stopping over on the way back because we would have been back so late.
Well, I'm glad you got through it okay.
Yeah.
Was it like heavy smoke? Was visibility an issue then?
Visibility wasn't too bad. They managed to push most of it back from the road, but you had to slow down to like 50, 60 kilometers an hour through it, and there were fireys everywhere, trying to deal with it.
Yeah, so like half the speed you'd normally be on the highway.
Yeah, so kilometers, not miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we it was slowed down the trip an immense amount, which wasn't so great for Bob, but it's good because we'd already booked this to stay overnight on the way back, so that's good. So we can leave early in the morning. And only thing is, we're only like 30 k's away from the front of the fire in a small town. So who knows? We might get evacuated during the night.
No, when you said
I still have a bit of trouble, converting kilometers in my head. I'm still a bit off on that
60 kilometers an hour is about 40 miles per hour. 35 miles an hour. Sorry.
Yeah.
Language is so funny. When you said Williams, I thought you were going to someone's house. I was so butthurt. I just didn't want to say anything. I was like,
wow. Somehow I knew she was talking about a place. I was like, I actually thought, I have no idea what or where that is, but it sounds like a town.
It's a town.
I had a boss who was from Compton, and you think I pronounce words fun. She called me Williams. And so to the point where she put Williams on my name tag and people just started calling me Williams. But that's just how that's the way she would speak English. She put an S at the end of everything.
This is the little room that we're in at the moment. It's tiny. Hi, Bob.
Hey.
Hello.
It is tiny, but I will tell you, this is a much better room than the one in the hotel in Perth.
Yikes.
Well, the facility is, it's smaller, but the beds are probably nicer and no steps.
If you're just crashing for the night and moving on in the morning.
We can park right in front of it. So
yeah.
Did you say there's no stench?
Steps.
Oh, steps.
My brother had to climb up a flight of steps to get up.
I thought you were gonna say like the last hotel was like ripe or something.
No.
Good thing about this one is there's no stench.
No stench. No.
There probably hasn't been a dead body in this room in over a week.
We don't get breakfast supplied here like we did in the hotel, but I mean it wasn't much of a breakfast, and you mostly had to make it yourself, to be honest. So, and we have bread with us, and there's toaster here, and there's stuff in the fridge, I think.
Yeah, that's where we're at the hotel I work at. Is pretty much we have stuff laid out for self-serve. We have a fully operational kitchen, but and we usually have a person working there, but that's shut down for now. So
yeah, the place we stayed did too. We had a meal there one night. It was a really nice meal. The pub part of it with its pub meals and stuff is really nice, but as far as accommodation goes, it was good for what we paid for it, but this is better and this is cheaper. So
they have
awesome.
Great Wi-Fi. They have amazing Wi-Fi.
Yeah, your connection
is Wi-Fi. Solid. This is the 4G on my phone.
Oh, your 4G is lovely.
Wait a minute. You don't have 5G? You haven't been vaccinated yet?
I haven't been vaccinated yet. I'm waiting until they can give us something other than AstraZeneca. No, not Astra. The other one, the horrible one that gives you blood clots.
Oh,
that's the
isn't
Moderna,
that the Johnson & Johnson doing that?
Or was it? Yeah, that's right. It was the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Sloth Girl and I got the Pfizer.
Yeah, I got the Pfizer as well.
Not that was a real choice. It was just the one our medical clinic happened to get.
Hopefully, because of Rob's condition, where last thing he wants is a blood clot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They'll give him the other one, and they'll probably give me the same one because.
Although the blood clot thing was just so seriously overplayed.
There's still been a lot of them though. So
it was literally it was like 1 in 1 million people vaccinated. So the chances of blood clots were actually much higher just for women going through menopause than they were from that vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I agree. But when you've got someone like Rob who's got chronic liver disease, the last thing you want to do is...
if you've got a pre-existing condition, you got to be more careful about things.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter so much for me, but for him, it does. So.
Yeah, definitely. Is he feeling better?
No, it's going to be a while. They're doing the reason for traveling this time was to see the doctor who's part of the assessment team, the professor. Yeah, he's a professor, not a doctor. He's part of the assessment team for transplants, and then Rob's got to come back up again in about 4, maybe 5 weeks' time. We're not exactly sure when they're going to send us a letter, and he has to spend a week up here seeing all these other people to be fully assessed, and then come back in a month's time to see the professor guy again, and then they'll decide what they're doing, whether they're going to put him on the list and for a transplant, etc. I hope they do. Yeah, that's the ideal. Yeah, the prognosis isn't good if you don't get on a transplant. So, I mean, not that necessarily transplants are good, but it's still better than the, maybe 2, 4, 5 years tops that you get if you don't get a transplant. So,
oh goodness,
yeah.
I hadn't heard until now that he needed a transplant. What does he need?
Liver.
I'll see if I have one lying around here.
Liver.
If you're looking for body parts, ask Gorilla.
Oddly enough, in Australia, in Western Australia, they don't do partial liver transplants. Even if they wouldn't take it from me anyway, because they weren't taken for older people, but even if the younger members of our family were compatible with Rob, they can't offer because they don't do partial transplants. They only do. So it means you're waiting longer for a liver. And the ideal is to not have to wait too long. And
anybody can donate a liver if they're compatible, right? Because they take part of the liver and then the liver grows back. Yeah. So
why won't they do a partial one there if it'll grow back?
Yeah, I have no idea what they don't do a partial here. I think the operation's slightly more complicated when they do a partial. Okay. And they end up with 2 patients who are who have to recover.
Well, I mean, in any transplant, you've got 2 patients to deal with, but it just seems strange that if that's something that actually will grow back, why they wouldn't do a partial. Yeah, it makes sense because as long as the person who they take the half a liver from, well, they don't even take a half. I believe they take a third of the healthy person's liver, put a third new liver into the liver patient, and eventually over about 2 years that grows to be a full-size liver.
Oh,
and the other person's liver over about 6 to 12 months grows back to being full-size.
So
it's the one organ in the body that, provided there's more than 50% of it left, provided there's more than a third of the liver functional, it will regrow from it. So if they catch liver disease early enough, and they can't always in people because some people don't show symptoms until it's too late, which was Rob's problem. If they catch it early enough, they can actually remove the diseased part of the liver and let the other part grow back.
Yeah, I didn't realize it grew back nearly that fast.
Yeah. So if we'd known early enough, Rob's liver disease came on over a 12-month period, and initially they didn't think it was that bad, and they didn't even think they'd need to do that. And then it got really bad. It's when it happens that quickly, it's you got to be more careful. And I can't see the chat at the moment, but if anybody's saying you should drink less, it's not alcohol-related liver disease. So
no, nobody said anything like that.
No.
Yeah, I can't see the chat anyway. So, but it's not alcohol-related for Rob. So,
the crickets are freaking out.
It's a common thing in my family because half my family are alcoholics. On my father's side, I have no idea what the natural life expectancy for men is because most of them have died from alcohol abuse or from an accident where alcohol was involved.
Oh, that's dreadful.
So I have no idea what the natural life expectancy would be.
Kind of the same in my family, but all the women have lived to be at least in their late 90s. Like my grandma lived to be 99, and I think she's one of the only out of all her sisters that didn't live to be over 100.
Yeah. Well, I am banking on, everyone has always said that I've taken most after my mother's father. And he was...
Nice motel.
Yeah. Yeah, he got to be 93. And both of his parents were well into their 90s. So, and that's... Considering the way things have improved since that generation, This is why I say I think I've got a better than average chance of beating 100.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, you might think they're clouds. That's smoke.
Okay,
I was going to
mind.
ask about that. Yeah, I kind of got the impression
think they were
because of the
clouds.
weird discoloration there.
Yeah, there is some cloud up there, but
Yeah.
most of it's smoke.
Yeah,
I thought
you
that
can
looked more
walk
like
out here and
smoke
smell
that
the
seen from a
smoke.
forest fire.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, that's nice here.
it's really funny. We had a fire. Well, there's still
you did
a ton going on right now, and it was so bad that I felt like 3 days ago I woke up because I couldn't breathe because there was so much smoke in the air. Fires are funny that way.
They are. I was checking the tires.
Yeah, disgusting thing is one of the biggest California wildfires got started by somebody doing a gender reveal stunt.
I still think they should put that person in front of a firing squad, but that's because that fire, in combination with at least 4 or 5 others, took years off my life last year.
Yep.
They took years. The sky was black.
It destroyed.
I'll put the camera to adjust.
It destroyed or damaged something like 30 buildings. So, the damage was literally in the billions of dollars.
Exactly. And the fact that it was over a stupid gender reveal party was just unreal. I still haven't wrapped my head around that. Still, I'm kind of in denial about that people can be that fucking stupid.
Why would they have gender reveal parties anyway? I mean, it's not like the parents can actually know for 100% certain the gender of their child.
Well, actually, the person who started, the craze about the gender reveal party, it turns out that when they became a teenager, her child is trans. So got it wrong anyway.
Brilliant. Love it.
And she has gone online and, she's talked about this and she's apologized for starting the whole thing.
Most people are well trained around here. There are generations of kids who have never seen a fire on the beach in Southern California. We've had anti-fire laws for a while here. It's been illegal to burn on the beach since I was in high school. And that was years ago. Wow, that really was 20-something years ago. I'm old. Anyways, it's been outlawed for a while.
You realize you're the youngest one here, babe.
Thank you. I'll take that. The smile on my face. Thank you. But so it bothers me that there's just a generation of you have to be extra kind of stupid to set a fire out in the middle of nowhere in California. Or do pyrotechnics without, and Jen always says in Australia, you have to have a license for everything. You can't just have hardcore fireworks out here like that. That's illegal as hell.
Yeah, I had wondered where they had gotten the stuff from. And I couldn't believe, considering, the environment where it was staged, how anybody could be that stupid as to do something like that in a drought, because basically the whole area was just surrounded by dried grass.
This entire area from here to the beach, it's just dry. LA, there's no water here. It is just dry. If we didn't have a modern infrastructure, we would be like one fire away from like a great fire.
Covered with dry grass. Yeah. See, this fire that's here is a controlled burn that got out of hand.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh dear.
Then that person should be fired.
Fortunately, they did the controlled burn today because it is going to be stormy tomorrow, so there's going to be rain. So the point was, if it got out of hand, the rain will kill it tomorrow. It got out of hand. It's an understatement.
Oh shit.
Well, at least they kind of planned for it then.
We have fire slaves here, aka the prison crews. So when they do control burns, they have the prison crews cut like huge swathes of land out before they'll cut like literally
a fire break.
Well, a half mile.
Sorry to interject quick, but I'm under 10%, so if I drop out suddenly, that's why.
Yeah, we might be losing Doc for his battery then.
All right, it was great talking to you, Doc.
It's always good to talk to you, Doc.
Yeah,
It's
people
good.
don't
It was
understand.
good to see you pop in quick at the end here. That was awesome.
It was good. I said I was going to make it, but because it took probably an hour longer to get here than intended. Yeah, Rob's agreeing with me. I'm a bit later than I intended to be. I wasn't even sure if you'd still be going.
Yeah, people don't realize that's why we have lawns. Originally, the purpose of lawns was to be a fire break, so that there was an area between the forest and your house where you had a chance to control it if the forest fire started.
Interesting.
Well, that's true. And hedges. Hedges and trees, yes, on lawns.
It's
like when you have all these people who we're going to buy a small bush block and go back to nature, and then they have trees that are basically leaning over the top of their house, and you go, fire comes through here, you're all dead.
Dog is back.
Hi, dog.
Hello. Yeah, no, I have to go. I have a nurse that comes and take some bloods and that, and it's daily crap. But that's done now. She was in and out.
Well, does she give it back?
No. Vampire.
I
have a tick that comes in every day, sucks some blood and disappears.
Yeah.
I won't make a marriage joke. I was about to make a marriage joke, but I won't.
Yeah, Slothful is prepping for her surgery, and the insurance company is getting us all pissed off again because one of the tests that she needs before the surgery, they informed her the other day that, the insurance isn't going to cover that. So now we're fighting to make sure that that's covered and to make sure that it's scheduled in time for her to still do the surgery next week.
Oh, that's just crazy.
Oof.
See, this is ridiculous. I mean, compared to you guys, I feel positively privileged with our medical system.
Me too.
Oh, we are literally fending for ourselves in America.
Well, and honestly, as far as I know, Minnesota really is pretty much in the top as far as the medical assistance.
I mean,
I don't think we're number one, but I think we're probably in the top 10 or 12.
Here in California, I try to look up things. I try to see what's not covered sometimes. Because I'll look up maybe this isn't. They hook you up here.
This trip to Perth, including accommodation and what we had to pay for out of our pocket for accommodation, fuel, and the odds and sods that weren't completely covered by everything, was probably maybe between $150 $200 out of pocket for the whole trip, and that was to see a specialist.
Well, and
that includes our food.
For them to see a specialist over there.
Yeah, if you had to travel 500 k's to see a specialist over there, you wouldn't get anything back on the accommodation and travel, would you?
Yeah.
Go there.
No. Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't. Yeah, they really wouldn't have you travel that far here, but.
Really?
There's a hospital in every major city.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to see a particular specialist for something, smaller population centers don't have transplant specialists who specialize in liver. They just don't. So you have to go to the big cities.
I think I take that for granted because I live in a major, in a giant metropolitan area. I can think of 2 or 3 different hospitals with less than 15 miles from my house.
Yeah, and they would probably have the specialists similar to what Rob needs. But even in Perth, there is even in a city with 2.5 million people, there's one hospital that does liver transplants.
Well, Americans could go to Mexico. They know all about livers and that there, and have it done dirt cheap.
Yep.
And you know what, dog? A lot of Americans do actually. All kinds of plastic surgery, all kinds, just in general, because it's
all kinds of waking up in a bath with ice packed around you.
Well-
Actually, I think it may be Thailand's #1 industry is medical tourism,
Yeah.
which is primarily people from the United States flying to Thailand to have procedures done because it is so much cheaper and easier to get it done there.
I thought it
And
was
even the airfare back and forth and staying in a hotel there for a couple of weeks is cheaper than having it done in the U.S.
Well, the only procedure I want done is, you know the ones where they suck the fat out your ass and stick it in your lips.
Yeah.
Well, I want it taken out my lips and stuck in my ass.
Is that like reverse lipo?
Well,
yeah.
I'm hoping that the hormones mine will move north and this extra bulge I got on the belly will just move up to my chest.
You never know.
I think we're all falling. I think everyone here is going to donate their bodies to medical science because we're all fucked. We're all falling apart in some way, shape, or form.
No, actually, I'd like to find a university or something that would specifically examine my brain to see if it would teach them anything about autism.
And I was born defective. I'm surprised I'm still here, too.
What would you do with a flat earther's brain?
No, I was born with bad lungs, man. I'm shocked I smoked for 20 years. I quit 3 years ago. This summer will be my 3rd anniversary.
That's what I helped raise 9 children. None of them had my DNA, and I was good with that because considering all the little quirks and all the little defects in my body, it wasn't really a good idea for my genes to be in the next generation.
That's how I feel about mine.
I don't have anything that's fatal, so I'm still going to live to be 100, but I'm going to have bits of me that are falling apart all the time.
You have entropy. That's fatal.
Well, life is sexually transmitted and always fatal.
Yeah.
So
that's the one
you're
I was
saying-
going to say.
You're saying that we're just a giant STD?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
life
face
is
of
life
Earth?
is an STD.
Well, I'm sure the other species on the planet think we're a giant fucking STD.
We were talking about that earlier, how like we have no circle. We are trash monkeys. Like we have no purpose. Like other animals. There's nothing that eats us unless we ask them to.
Or we're stupid and unlucky.
That's true. Every once in a while, you do hear a story about
the guy who decided to swim with hippos.
I think it is perfectly appropriate to refer to the human species as a cancer on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is a single specialized cell that has just grown way out of proportion to the detriment of everything else on the planet.
It keeps spreading.
Yeah, it's basically, that's the definition of a cancer. Yeah. It's something that was supposed to be here, but not nearly so many.
It sounds to me like the human species needs a predator.
It needs a mass call.
That's what urban horrors are for.
Well, just release Australia to the world. Everything there will kill you, mate. That'll do. Everything there is deadly. You're all right, Jen, because you've lived there. You've grown a tolerance to things. Even inanimate objects in Australia are venomous. They'll kill you. Flower vases, bunny rabbits, hamsters.
You've really got to watch out for that deadly lampshade.
Deadly lampshade, that'll do you. But Australia will survive.
Well, a lot of other species understand that if you have overpopulation and a food shortage, cannibalism solves both problems at once.
Well, the Catholics eat Jesus every week.
All right, so I watched a documentary.
They have their Jesus flakes, don't they? Every week they're eating him and drinking his blood.
Yeah, it's the blood of Jesus.
Considering it's been going on 2,000 years, Jesus must have been one huge dude.
Well, he was. He was ripped, wasn't he? He was 6'4". He stood out in the crowd. He had blue eyes, blonde hair.
Are we talking about Jesus? Okay, if we're gonna talk about Jesus,
we're talking Hollywood Jesus now. We're not talking like the real Jesus who would have been 4'2" and Asian. We're talking about Hollywood Jesus.
I have a question. Did Jesus have magical fish? How do you feed all those people? And were there bones in the fish? And like, it's a hot day. Were they eating just fish? I have lots of questions.
No. But Rob and I thought of this as we were driving down to here, that if Jesus truly was a composite character made up of stories from very different things, Jesus fucking Christ actually could have been a thing.
Hey.
I saw a meme on that, but that was one I decided not to save.
What does he? What's Jesus' middle name? H. What's the middle name for that?
See that all
Harold.
I say Jesus H. Christ all.
I had always wondered where the H came from.
I say that all the time.
But yeah, that's actually the theory that I subscribe to. That Jesus was a composite character.
And the Holy Goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking
Hubert. Composite legend character, much along the same lines as King Arthur or Robin Hood.
Well,
I think it's Harold.
It could be Harold because they said Jesus was a Brit because he served bread with his fish suppers. So
again, how do you feed all those people without it being magical fish?
Okay, did the Bible say somewhere that Jesus was God's herald?
Probably. It's all gobbledygook. It's all rubbish.
Tell you.
The Bible does not state how big those fish were. The Bible considers whales to be fish, so perhaps they were 7 whales. You could certainly feed all those people with 7 whales.
Okay, you got a point there. If one of the fish they were referring to was a sperm whale, there'd be no problem feeding that whole crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, they even called hippos fish, so.
Well, weren't hippos behemoths?
A lot of people subscribe to that one, yeah.
Yeah, or elephants.
Well,
it's the tail.
I have leaned towards the hippos because there's some passage that says about them lurking under the lilies.
Oh, okay.
Lurking in the water under the lilies.
But
So
I
that
see
would
that's the
definitely be a
hard part
hippo.
to know. You don't know how the language translation works for the name of those creatures, so
Yeah, that's the problem. You'd have to see it in its original language to find out what they're really talking about.
Well, unfortunately, I should
actually speak the
I should
original
probably
language.
hop off here because my phone is probably down to like 1%.
Okay.
So
It's great talking to you, Doc.
yeah, it was
for
awesome
coming
hanging
in.
with y'all.
Take care, Doc.
Yep, we'll talk to you later.
We love you, man. But surely Noah had a manifest on his super yacht. He must have had a manifest of what animals he had on there, wouldn't he? Well, them weird, deadly ones from Australia, the duck-billed platypus, venomous, that'll kill you. Have your leg off one of them. You've got all your marsupials.
Those drop bears.
Yeah. The koala bears.
There's all kinds of venomous stuff everywhere.
Not like Australia, mate. That's pylons.
There's more venomous.
Felicia Beacon's traffic lights are venomous
in the USA than there are in Australia.
Exactly. Everything there is it just looks bigger. You know, everything is scary when you're not from there. You'd be shocked, dog. We have like coyotes. We have real life cougars, not just lonely old ladies.
Yeah, but if you got like Australian crocodiles, where you take the poop, they come up through the toilet and drag you in.
Crocodiles do not come up through
Yes,
the toilet.
they do. They're deadly.
No,
they
don't.
kill you. Australia is about uninhabitable place on Earth.
Can come up through the toilet.
Okay, we do have to give that Australia definitely has more animals that are venomous enough to kill a person. North America doesn't have a lot of those. We've got a few spiders and such, but not a lot.
Yeah, and here it's like the brown recluse will kill you, and everything else.
Yeah, we got a couple of spiders and snakes that might be able to take you out that way, but
yeah, but they are.
We have.
On the other hand, Australia doesn't have anything like the large bears.
They don't need it when
We've got no big mammals or marsupials that will kill you. The most dangerous thing around here would be a dingo, and that's basically a dog, a large dog.
Yeah.
Not even as dangerous as a wolf.
But you
Australia
don't
have the cutest
500-pound bears.
Tiniest thing called the blue ring octopus. That if that farts on you don't even make it back to shore.
Well, and the box jellyfish that's only like the size of a dime and still venomous enough to take you down.
Yeah.
Mostly because they come in big swarms.
I've seen a bunch of videos with people holding those things. The blue octopus.
Yeah, people are stupid though.
For one, you don't get stuck like Tim.
The people holding blue-ringed octopuses. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, that is.
I have only ever seen one live blue-ringed octopus.
A kangaroo would do, yeah, surely. A big old kangaroo.
Kangaroos can kill people, yeah, but I mean, kangaroos will run away generally. The only way you'd be in danger from a kangaroo is if you walked into the territory of a big red during mating season. Then you might be fucked.
Especially if
the smaller greys will run away from humans because we're bigger than they are. So
I did see this one weird video that I kind of wanted an explanation for. It's this guy skydiving. And as he is coming down to the ground, this troop of like 5 kangaroos charges him and kicks the shit out of him and runs away.
I've never see kangaroos don't normally behave like that. Kangaroos generally run away.
I didn't think that was a normal thing for him, but it's like they saw him coming down and they figured out where he was going to land and they went there deliberately to kick him.
He got jumped.
Do you know
possibly if he landed near a group of them which had a lot of young and they were just trying to defend their young, because you got to remember that wedge-tailed eagles will come in and take young joeys.
Yeah, it must have been something like that. They thought he was some kind of big flying creature that was going to take the baby or something.
Take the baby, so they went and attacked. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you just wouldn't have that happen. And you could have, if you parachuted in where there's a bear with cubs, you're probably dead as well. So
yeah,
it's no real difference.
Well, yeah,
but you don't have to worry about a kangaroo eating you.
Yeah, you never want to get between any animal and its babies. I don't care if it's something smaller than a house cat. If it's defending its babies, it's gonna fuck you up.
Oh, a bear is gonna swipe you to death, though. So a couple punches from a bear, at least you're done. Kangaroo is gonna tenderize you.
and to be fair, we only have a handful of poison. There's you've got redbacks and funnel webs, and funnel webs are only one small part of Australia as far as poisonous spider.
But doesn't Australia have like 8 of the world's 10 most dangerous snakes?
Yeah, they're not deadly poisons. Yeah. So, I mean, there's not really a lot of. I mean, where I live, the chances of you getting bitten by a spider that could actually kill you as an adult, if you're a kid, maybe, but not as an adult, is pretty minimal. If you were allergic to, the redback would probably kill you as an adult. But I mean, I've been bitten by a redback before, so has Rob. We never died.
Well,
you don't
that's
feel
about
very
the
well
same.
for a couple of days. I'll give you that.
That's about the same
You're
here.
unlikely to die.
As a teenager, I got a bad bite from a black widow, and that was actually enough to. Well, it was enough to make me kind of woozy that I had to lay down for a while, but wasn't really life-threatening.
The poison's very similar. I mean, they're a related species, so.
Yeah, it's only really young.
Yeah. Or those who are allergic that are a problem as far as redbacks go. And the funnel webs are more of a worry, but it's the only one that's really deadly to humans is the Sydney funnel web, and basically they're around one area of Sydney, and that's it. Outside of that, the snakes are more likely to be a problem for you because I mean you can walk you through a path and there's a snake in the way.
There are a lot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's about 5 really deadly ones in Australia.
Yeah.
Well, the only deadly animal here in the UK is girls from Newcastle. They're beautiful, but they are deadly. They'll do you.
They'll bite you and give you a case of the syphilis.
Get them in the wrong them in the wrong situation, the wrong corner. They'll come out fighting, and you've got no man has got any chance against them. Yeah, I remember years ago. I was riding my bike. It was late at night. I've been to a pub a few miles away. I was riding my bike home, and I saw a full set. There must have been 6 of them in the middle of the road. Because where I live, it's just countryside. There's no traffic.
To be fair, you live on a dinky little island, which is tiny in comparison to somewhere like the USA or Australia.
Yeah, but 5 badgers, they started walking towards me. I turned my bike round and I had to go the long way round. It took me like 4 hours to pedal 5 miles, which would have been 5 miles. I think the trip was about 27 miles in the end to get back to my house to avoid the badgers that would have walking down. I could have waited, but I just thought they might come after me.
How far you go back about 400 or 500 years in the UK, and you've got bears and wolves and
yep,
all those nasty
but
things.
yeah, we went over that comparison the other night, and the entire UK is about the size of the average Midwestern state.
So from my front door to Portland, Oregon is 955 miles.
You're going to go back about,
and that's bigger than the UK.
Well, as I said, we've got these green initiatives now where we're introducing old animals into the wild. Not far from me, we got the beavers going now.
Yeah,
we've got beavers back in the UK.
Kangaroos in Australia. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Carnivorous kangaroos. There used to be carnivorous kangaroos in Australia.
Well, yeah, but that was pretty much before there were any humans there.
Oh, no, there would have been humans. The first Aboriginals have been here about 30,000 years, so that was only about 10,000 years ago.
Oh, come on. You're wrong there. Come on. I've seen Kenthoven, mate. Carnivorous kangaroos, 30,000 years. What's over here?
Yep. Yes, there were 7-foot-tall carnivorous kangaroos at one point.
No, Kenthoven's telling me that's not true.
In my nightmares.
The largest monitor lizard to ever exist lived in Australia too, and that was bigger than a saltwater crocodile.
Why am I not strong?
Yeah. And they could run like the fucking clappers on land. So you wouldn't have wanted to be around them. There were Aboriginals here when they were around as well. So, and then of course you have the saber-toothed version of the thylacine, which was about the same size as a cow.
Yeah.
And had
jaws on it like that. Yeah. So,
that they reckon.
But I mean, old megafauna. There's old megafauna all around the world.
Have you ever seen it?
Have mammoths. So.
Have you ever seen a cow's eye? They're this big.
They're huge. Yeah.
They're yikes. I couldn't bring myself to off a cow, but they're tasty.
Yeah, they eat them in some countries. I've eaten sheep's eye before. That was quite nice. Well, just take like fatty lamb, to be fair.
That's why I say I'm a scavenger. I'm not going to go and kill something, but if it's already dead when I get there, I'll eat it. Fortunately for me, most of the stuff I find in the grocery store is already dead.
When I was a kid, my dad's Vietnam group, they took all the Boy Scouts to the state fair, and they lined us all up, and they were like, "Look, don't name any of the animals." And they slaughtered a pig in front of us. Do you know, by today's standards, every single one of those men would have went to jail? If I did that in front of my kids' friends, like, they call the cops on me.
Well, my brother and cousins and uncles have always been hunters, so I've been involved in butchering a deer a number of times.
Oh yeah. Wow. It's not for the faint of heart.
Well, you have to acknowledge it, that it's a truism that life feeds upon life.
No, I agree with you. When I look back and I kind of laugh because I think my dad probably thought I was a wuss, but it really did toughen me up. He took me to a Farmer John plant, and then he took me to the Alpo dog food plant, which quite literally was on the same street.
Yeah.
I want everyone to think about that.
Yeah.
they
Well,
had the
yeah,
dog
after they
food
take
plant.
the choice cuts, the stuff
Yeah.
that's not very valuable goes to the dog food.
They were quite literally next door to each other. I went to the killing floor and saw how hot dogs were made.
Yeah.
And I still eat hot dogs. But that would make most people vegans or vegetarians.
I think if most people spent an hour inside of a slaughterhouse, they would have serious reservations about eating meat anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think I've become kind of I won't say I've grown more of a conscience. Whenever I feel bad about things. When I was younger, I could walk in a slaughterhouse and be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Now I think about it too much, and I'm like, oh, look how big the cow's eyes are. It's awful. I used to not care. Now, like Perp said, I'd rather just go to the grocery store.
Or takeout.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Jen.
Yeah, something's bitter. There's a toilet crocodile's come up and dragged her in. I'm telling you. But what we're saying about naming animals, on my near me, with the local farm, and every Christmas he gets a couple of 100 turkeys, and you go and purchase one, and he'll tag it for you, and then he'll.
I was about to text you. And I look up and you're on.
I clicked the wrong button. It's all right. It's my fault. I clicked the
I
wrong
do that
button.
all the time.
Yeah,
we thought a toilet crocodile had come and got you.
There's no crocodiles here. There was a crocodile here. There's something drastically wrong with the world.
That makes global
Warming has accelerated massively. It's not warm enough here for crocs.
Yeah, when I was like around 10 years old one year, my dad won a turkey in the raffle at his union Christmas party. Apparently, they failed to mention that it was a live turkey that was going to be delivered.
Awesome.
So it lived in our basement for a couple of months until he finally got around to chopping its head off.
Oh,
and yeah, that's as far as I remember, none of my sisters would eat any of it.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't get personal with your food, and I think because I've been desensitized since when I was a child, I'm okay with it. But you can't get personal with your food.
Yeah,
meat the meats.
Never name your breakfast. Never name your breakfast.
Rob just said you can get personal with your meat. It's just not accepted behavior.
It depends on where you're standing.
Well, there's a fenced-off area in my garden, which is basically just a animal graveyard. Goldfish are in there, hamsters and guinea pigs from years ago. I mean, they probably dissolved now, back into soil that long ago through the daughter, and she's animal mad. She's now calm mad because she's grown up. But yeah, she named this turkey what we picked, and we used to go and visit and watch it grow. It was tagged with our family name on it, and she named it. I can't remember what she named it. But then come after Christmas, we'd already eaten them. She wanted to go and see the turkey bird, and obviously we'd eaten it.
The turkey bird.
The old turkey bird. Well,
and that's when you do the turkey dance.
Did you tell her?
Not at that point. I think she worked out in the end when we did stop going.
How old was she at the time?
Oh, she was only about 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
She's only little. But yeah, naming animals is quite getting involved. Dogs and that is all right because you're not going to eat them unless you're Korean, of course. They love them out there in Vietnam. But they
I may hop off because we need to go and grab a couple of things before
I need to go to bed.
Okay.
Have a good rest. And
Okay, well, I suppose we got winded up here then for the night. So, well, before you go, Jen, you got anything you want to shill?
No, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
over the next couple of days.
Your channel's still on hiatus until things settle down.
I know what I'm
no,
doing
no,
now.
my channel's not hiatusing, but there won't be anything over this weekend. I don't think so. I don't think I'll have time to do anything over this weekend. I strongly suspect I'll be way too busy over the weekend, even once I get home. So maybe during the week there might be a stump gen at some point, and of course there will be a what's the show next Thursday for you guys?
No fake outs.
No fake out. This wasn't a fake out. You knew I'd be away.
I know. I just love giving you a hard time. I just love giving you a hard time.
Hard time, Will.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from the Exhausted channel. Go subscribe to the Exhausted channel.
That could be a channel, couldn't it? Just there for knackered old YouTubers who are all burnt out from creating. And they're all burnt out now, and they just drool on the screen and talk rubbish.
You know, I gotta. My thing is, I have to get up tomorrow in the morning and like wake my kid up for school.
You mean today in the morning?
In like 5.5 hours, but I always sleep for at least an hour. You know, I catch an hour or two while he's schooling. But I have things I have to do tomorrow. I have to go to the grocery store. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm always tired on Friday.
Friday.
Godly Sewing, go subscribe. Every Wednesday. Maddie from Stein Side Up, Sam Chaos, and myself, we have Pub Religion, 3:30 West Coast time. Jen talked about the What the Fuck show. The Sewing Circle was actually quite successful today, and I thank all my new subscribers. So go subscribe.
Yeah.
Wow, they're still there. So that's cool.
That's always good.
No, because I got trolled one time where I got a bunch of subscribers and they were gone within like 5 minutes. I was like, thank you, and they were gone. So it's been a couple hours and they're still there.
I just want to say I love you guys. Loads, really do.
You're awesome.
Just keep it all up.
Doug, do you have it?
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No. Okay, well, Native Atheist, actually, for Will, I think the time goes the other way. So I think it's only like 1 o'clock there for him.
Yeah, it's 1:14. So I still have enough time to catch a good cat nap.
It's 9:14 in the morning here, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, do you have any upcoming appearances you want to plug?
No, I've got. I'm getting some equipment coming, so I may start Gospel According to Dog soon and get that going. We'll see. See how I feel. I've got to get myself a little bit better first, but something will happen.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm just fine watching you guys crack on and do the good stuff.
Well, and I'll just be doing my regular bit here. You know, Wednesdays at noon, Thursdays at midnight. The Shills has gotten moved to Saturday evenings. I think it's going to be Saturday at 8 Central Time. And I think that I can go ahead and do my regular schedule next week, but there is a possibility with Sloth Girl surgery, you know, that I might get pulled away from that, but I think we're going to have her son coming here to help her out, so I should be able to do my Wednesday stream, and he should be able to sit up there with her for that.
No, okay. So
it doesn't matter if you're there, mate. You know, we won't miss you 1 week. We know you'll be back. Make sure Sloth Girl's all right.
Yeah.
Just we'll play Wednesday by ear, yeah?
Yep.
Play Wednesday by ear.
With that, I will thank my patrons, Greg Hartwick, The Lavender Lady, Mikey Famine, Robert X, Ox, Junie, and Vonrick. I appreciate all your support in helping keeping me going here. And with that, we will bid all of you adieu. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.